All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hi.
I actually have to look at the camera. So, hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to Elite Dangerous role-playing game and the crew. We've got I've got 4 victims. I've got 4 players here that are ready to get started playing in this wonderful thing called a tabletop role-playing game that we are doing virtually. So I think maybe we'll start off by just having everybody introduce themselves, and then I'll do a little.
Hi, I'm Boris. I feel like I'm in the Brady Bunch. Who's next?
Yeah.
We'll go straight across to Lyric.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Lyric.
Now Spidey.
Oh, me? Hi, I'm Spidey.
Do you want me to say now Apple?
Hello. Hello. That's me.
I feel like I actually introduced you all because I had to prompt each and every one of you. So
Yeah, it works. It's fine.
that's right. So
You're the
yes,
host, right?
I guess so. Yeah. I guess I will be. I'll start off by that. Yeah. So we're playing a tabletop role game, and we're playing a game called Elite Dangerous RPG, which takes place in the year 3301, in the far distant future, when humanity has learned how to make faster than light travel and expanded throughout the galaxy in about a 400 light year bubble of space, which they call lovingly the bubble. Within that area, there are 3 major factions: the Federation, the Alliance, and the Empire, that all vie for power in their own ways. And our wonderful set of people tonight will be playing as police detectives within the Federation in a system called Acellus Primus, and they have recently been promoted to the rank of detective. But why don't we? Now we're going to do the same order. Okay.
Okay.
Each of you
Okay.
introduce your character and your name and maybe a little bit about who they are.
Gabriel Baxter was a hardened street kid growing up in the roughest parts of his space station home. Eventually taken in by a caring family, he excelled at school, successfully training as a medical doctor. Unable to open his own practice because of his criminal record, he was accepted on a whim of the station commander to serve in the police force. His posting is controversial, but his medical training and street smarts have proven to be very effective. That's Gabriel Baxter, and that's me.
Okay. I'm gonna summarize mine. Okay. I'm playing Jenya Kurian. I should learn how to say my own name. Just Jenya. I'm an ex-corporate spy. I got fired because just a simple cost cutting. And then I became unsatisfied by whatever I did after that. And now I'm employed as a detective. I use my skills from my spying for a more noble purpose. There. Jenya. I'm sneaky.
That's in the next stream. I'll make sure that that's going to be on the bottom of your window. It'll pop up every once in a while. It'll just say, "I'm
It's
Jenya.
sneaky.
I'm sneaky."
Catchphrase.
Catchphrase. I'm sneaky. There you go.
Yeah.
Guess it's my turn. So
Yeah.
I'm playing Henry Kincaid. He's an ex-miner who suffered an injury in the line of duty, and because of that, ended up having to have. I can't even remember what. Oh yeah, I do. I remember. He was severely injured and had to have his arm and his eyes and some of his organs replaced with cybernetics. He made the choice to get cybernetics because in the Elite Dangerous universe, you can just get like cloned limbs, but he made the choice to be better, basically. And after his accident, he decided to give up his life mining and decided to join up with the police force.
So you're the poster child for we can make you stronger, faster.
Yep.
That time.
And you actually you made that character, didn't you, Spidey?
I did. Yep.
Yeah, unlike the
That's
rest of us that are just hacks. And
That's
so
right.
on.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody else has pre-mades, but Spidey took the time and built himself a custom cyborg, which should
I like
be
rule
kind of,
systems.
kind of fun to watch. Yes. All right.
Okay, that leads me on to me. It was Ed Foster. I was a trained combat pilot who served in the Defence Force for 3 years, but it was deemed that I was just too good at my job, really. So that they had to move me on to something a bit more challenging. It's like being a detective, which I am now. I'm very charismatic, of course, and but I'm a bit black and white in my dealings. Yeah, that's me, Ed Foster.
Beautiful. So yes, so these 4 fine individuals are members of the police force within the Acellus Primus system. One thing about Elite Dangerous Universe is it's vast, and even within the Federation, which is where all of you reside, the police departments are very much contained to specific systems. So you are police for this system, and each system has their own police force because space is big, and trying to keep the peace and keep people from being attacked and taken by pirates needs to be handled individually by each system individually. If the large kind of like Federation Navy, while it does go from place to place, it's kind of called in where it's needed most, but the day-to-day operations are handled by people like you. So, is there any, I guess, that's kind of the preamble
should we-
for where we are, but yeah, is there anything else you want to say for
Yeah,
us?
so that's the setting up of the story. Should we
That's the
point out that this adventure is did you make this one? This
No,
is all
actually,
yours?
this one is not all
Okay.
mine. This is actually an adventure that comes with Elite Dangerous. You can get it on their website for free. It's called The Worst of Intentions, or The Worst Intentions. It was created for their playtest originally, but I have, I guess, added my own flavor to parts here and there.
And it's intended to like introduce, especially me and Apple, because we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, not
We spent more time putting on suits than we did researching
Oh, hell
how to do any of this. So Anubis is being very gentle and taking care of a lot of the maths and the rules and all of that, and then we'll just sort of yell stuff at him until he says, yes, you're allowed to.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But Spidey's a seasoned veteran when it comes to this, and Lyric's done a little bit. But
Yeah, not much.
and we also don't know the Elite Dangerous
Yeah.
universe, so
No.
we're
Yeah,
making
that's
this up
true.
as we go along.
That's right.
All right,
I've
I've
the base.
got
sorry,
that
go
out of the
ahead.
way.
Yes.
No,
the
I
plan-
was just getting that out of the way so that people watching knew that this might be a bit messy.
I mean, they're on the NiddTuber
yeah,
channel,
yes.
so they should know by now that
Yeah, they
everything we
shouldn't
do is a
expect
little
much.
bit messy.
Yes. All right. So yeah. So as a very kind of like basic lore, I mean, there's probably people in the chat actually that know quite a bit about the Elite Dangerous universe, but for the players and for those that are not familiar with it, the Federation was the first kind of like major piece that was created and went out into space. It came from Earth, and it slowly, kind of like a United Nations type thing, brought people and planets into the network. And then eventually there was a giant uprising with a new faction called the Empire that broke off from the Federation, and a war, like a long-standing war that eventually turned into peace begrudgingly, and between the two. But there was still constant like bickering and fighting back and forth, and skirmishes in different systems. And then because of that, the Alliance was born ultimately, because they were tired of the Federation and the Empire fighting their battles in their backyard, basically. And so they kind of like rose up and started to get systems to come to their side to kind of push those two forces out of their area of space. And now we're in a period of time where those are the three like major superpowers. The Federation is very, very much into technology. I guess I should turn my printer off. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's making weird noises in the background.
That's just my prosthetic limbs.
That's right. Yes, that's the sound of Henry Kincaid sitting. But yeah, so the Federation where you guys are is very much into high tech, right? They believe in robotics. So when they come across cyborgs and things of that nature, they see them as a means to an end, tools, right? So they while they still prefer you not to go crazy cybernetics, they will not, push away an opportunity to have somebody on their side that can get things done. Whereas the Empire, they actually push themselves away from technology quite a bit, and they actually have slavery in the Empire, and they use people more than they use technology, and they always sway that way. So that's one kind of major difference over there. And then the Alliance is considered much more of a the latest attempt at more of a democratic society and a kind of like a federation of planets from Star Trek, if you think of that style, where they all run their own planets and systems and things, but they try and work together, and they have like a collective navy to try and help and keep the peace in their area. But yeah, it's kind of like high big picture of the universe that you guys live in. As far as humanity knows too, there are no aliens. You have not come across any extraterrestrial life, at least not sentient extraterrestrial life at this point. There are rumors of these things in the background, just so people watching this stream, we're playing in the year 3301. So if you know anything about possible future alien stuff, keep that to yourself. But as far as the humanity is concerned at this period in time, there are no aliens in the universe. There are rumors of a race that humanity might have encountered decades ago, but everybody chalks it up to nothing more than that. So we descend into the Acellus Primus system, and and you are all at home, sleeping in your beds. You had a very long day yesterday.
Together or individually?
Individually.
The same bed.
Individually and together. So basically, you do work together in the same police department. The police department will team people up based on their skills and what the current job is. Especially if they need to send you out of system, you generally do things in larger groups. But even within the system, you guys will get paired up or work solo, depending on what's going on. Yesterday, none of you guys were working together, but you do all know each other. You all work in the same department. But each individually have had long days. You were up late, putting your final reports together. You only probably got into bed between maybe 2 or 3 hours ago. You haven't had a whole lot of sleep yet, and as you're finally getting into some deep sleep, we'll start with you, Gabriel. Your communicator goes off and it wakes you up, startles you awake.
I like the sound of my communicator. Is the first thing I say. Okay, and then what do I do from there?
What do you want to do? Do you want to answer the phone? Do you want to ignore it?
I'm trying to work out the granularity of what we do.
Yeah, there will be times where I fast forward through things, but yeah.
It's high on the list
so
of what you're wearing.
pajamas.
Yep.
I answer my communicator. Is that what I do? Is that how I want to answer my communicator?
All right.
Is that how I express that want?
That is exactly how you express that.
Okay.
And on the other side of the phone, you hear the police operator that you have spoken with many times in the past. It's a lady, and she gets on the phone with you, and she's, Captain. The captain needs you in right away. You need to come in right away. She's got an important case that has to happen.
Well,
are you coming?
Firstly, very rude.
Well, I was told by the captain to call you, and you're one of 4 people I have to call tonight. So the longer I take with you, the longer I'm going to be up tonight. So are you coming in?
I'm only coming in if the other 3 say they're coming in. Otherwise, this is going to be a bit awkward.
Okay, I already called them. They're already on their way in. Why don't you just come in now?
Oh, okay. Right. I'm on my way. Do I have to? Means I got to get dressed.
Yes, you gotta get dressed. Unless you don't want to get dressed.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Oh, she hangs up. She doesn't even wait. Like she hears, "I'm on my way," and all of a sudden, the connection has dropped. You are now free to kind of get yourself to the police department. You do live on a station that orbits. I believe it's the third or the fourth major body within the system, and the police department is on that station as well. So you basically need to just kind of like work your way through the turbolift system or whatever to get to where you're going. So I'll let you decide what you're wearing, what you're not wearing, how you're preparing yourself, what you're bringing with you as you go to the police office, and then we'll come back. At this point, we've got Ed. You get a call on your communicator. What does your phone sound like?
Wait, I have to make my own. He gets his. I have to make mine.
That's what your sound. You hear your
My
phone go off.
immersion is
I have to make my
destroyed.
own. I have to make my own. I have to make my own. And your communicator's going off. That's
Hang
not
up.
lore.
I've had a long day. Piss off.
Hello? Is this Ed Foster?
Oh, what? Yes? Can I help you, madam?
You need to come in right away. The police
No,
detective-
I don't.
You've just been promoted to police detective, and we've got a case for you. The captain specifically asked for you. You shouldn't say no on
Oh,
your first
hello,
case.
madam. What's your name? It's lovely to meet you. Yeah, I'd love to see you. Where do I need to be?
You have to come into the main office and,
Oh,
and see her.
I'll be there right away.
Oh, thank you. Click.
Yeah.
Jenya, all of a sudden you have your communicator going off. Would you like
Yes.
to make up your own communicator noise, or would you like me to make one?
I think I'm happy for you to make one.
All right. Well, you hear the sound of what, this music going off right now on your and then your phone goes off.
Aw. Okay. I think I need a new communicator.
maybe it's static. Maybe it's kind of broken.
Okay.
Maybe you need a new one.
Oh, mine's all wrecked. Okay. I answer it. Hello. Hi. Why are you calling me?
Hello, Miss Jenya. Can you please come in to work
Hello.
right away? The captain needs to see you. She's got a big case, and she's specifically requested you. Hello, are you
right.
still there?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Yes. Okay. Yep. I'll come in.
All right. Good. Click.
Great.
And next,
Okay. Bye.
Henry, you hear the sound of your communicator going off. Do you have a noise for that?
Yeah, it sounds like, you know, in your iPhone, you can set it to make it sound like dogs barking, but it doesn't actually sound like dogs barking. It's that.
Hoof, 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 hoof. All right. Your phone goes off. Do you pick up?
Yep. Hello?
Hi, Henry Kincaid. Is that you?
Yes.
Oh, the police captain has asked you to come in for a brand new case. I know that you've just been promoted, and she specifically requested you should be honored.
The captain? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All right, you're on your way?
Yes.
Okay, click.
Okay. Goodbye.
All right. So you guys all make your way to the police department, I'm assuming. And you arrive at the police department. You guys are quite exhausted, right? Like you haven't had a whole lot of sleep last night. But so you walk in, a brightly lit station. There, like, you come in off to your left, you see that there are, the coffee, tea, all that kind of stuff is available if you want to go grab something before you go see the captain. You look around the room, and it is kind of the night shift, a galactic time or whatever, right? But there's not a whole lot of people moving around within the station. But you do, like, you kind of walk in. It's like a, what do they call it? Like a bullpen, or I can't remember what the American term is for, like, where you walk in, right? And it's like all like desks everywhere. There's people, but and across the way, you see the captain's office on the other side, and her door is closed, but you do notice that there's a little light above her door, which is green, which tells you that you're like people are free to kind of come in unannounced at this point. You can go and talk to the captain. She's not in the middle of some kind of an important call. So you see that the door is closed, but the light is on above. There's people kind of like scattered around. There's a coffee station, a tea area, whatever, like stuff like that. You do know it's urgent, but if you would like to mingle or do anything else before you head to see the captain, you're free to do so. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna get tea. I'll just get tea, and then I'm gonna head in.
Is there any food?
Yeah. Are there biscuits?
There are biscuits, but you when you pick them up, they're really hard. Like you feel like not a fresh batch. It's like they might work. Maybe if you dip it in your tea, might be.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna make a coffee, and I'm gonna have a little biscuit.
I'm just gonna shovel in like 5 biscuits. I'm just gonna get some energy. I'm tired. I'm just gonna shovel some in.
Like in your mouth, or you stacking your pockets with biscuits.
Oh wait, is there anybody? How many people are around? Like, there's not many, right?
Well, you look around. Yeah, you look around, and there's probably a good, maybe like 20 or so desks kind of scattered around, but there's only maybe 3 or 4 people. A couple people sitting down, a couple people walking around. But yeah, like you don't get the impression anybody's kind of like paying attention to you at the moment.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my blazer to like kind of hide my pocket and shovel like as many biscuits as I can in my pocket.
Roll for biscuits.
So you're stuffing your pocket of your jacket with
yeah,
biscuits.
like my inside jacket pocket is
Gotcha.
like getting shuffled. Yeah.
All right, cool.
You never know.
Right. So are you also shoving them in your mouth or no?
Yeah, like 5. A normal amount.
Normal amount? Okay.
Yeah.
So you grab. I'm assuming you also grab like a tea or a coffee or.
No, just the biscuits. I like it really
just the
dry.
biscuits. All right. So you grab a bunch of biscuits. We've got Gabriel who's making himself some tea. I think Jenya, you were making yourself some coffee, right? You were grabbing some coffee.
Yeah.
And
as
Henry,
Henry's
what are you
walking in, you can see him pull out of his pocket a package of like, caffeine gum, and he like shovels like 2 or 3 in his mouth and just walks straight to the door.
So you just like make a beeline for the captain's office.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, and
So does that mean he gets there first, or are we all getting there at the same time?
Well, you kind
How
of
does
all
that
trickle
work?
in around the same time. I think that when Henry walks in, you guys were off making your tea and your coffee and stuffing your pockets with biscuits, and then you turn around and you see Henry like coming through he's hard not to notice, right? Like he comes walking in and like half robotics, right? Like he's making a bunch of he makes a lot of noise, and he's going straight, like just making a beeline for the office. So if you want to catch up, you'll have to like fast walk to get there at the same time as him.
Yeah.
Or you can stroll over and let him go in first.
I think I always stroll. I never don't stroll.
All right.
Yeah. I quickly make my coffee and stuff. Like it doesn't take long. Like I'm not
power
dawdling.
walk over. I'm gonna
Well,
full on
with
power
coffee
walk
too, right?
over.
You've got there's probably a pot already made. You can just fill your glass. Tea.
Yeah,
tea's
exactly.
a little bit more work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're gonna power walk, are you?
Yeah, as fast as I can. But
Leaving a
Alright.
trail of crumbs behind him.
a couple of biscuits as I go.
One falls out of your pocket, and Jenny like steps on it as she walks by. It's now squished into the carpet. All right, so Henry, you arrive at the captain's door first. It is closed. You do know that you're able to walk in because of the green light above the door. You see a sign off to the side that reads Captain Maria Delgado, Narcotics. You guys are all part of the narcotics department.
Cool.
So yeah, you're free to just open the door and walk in if you wish, or you can wait for your companions.
He'll do like a quick shoulder check and see like how close everyone else is, and maybe give it a beat before he knocks, and then enters.
You turn back
you'll notice
around
when
and you see Jenya like picking her foot up and looking at what she just stepped on.
he knocked
See,
with
this is
his
how we get ants.
he knocked with his right arm with his non-robotic. No, and then he enters.
All right. Yeah. So as soon as you knock, you do hear from inside your captain's voice saying, "Come in, come in." So you open the door. You stroll in. It's a fairly standard office. So I think at this point I can move the players over
Oh, look at that.
to a new window, and I will flip this so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about as everybody looks at what's going on in Roll20 at the moment. This is your system. So this is where you guys currently live. You are currently on Bigelow Landing, which is the area there that is outlined in the green circle. It is orbiting a little moon, which orbits Acellus Primus 3, which is a gas giant, a ringed gas giant within the system. So this is kind of where you guys currently are at the moment. And you walk in, like that's the station. That's where you guys currently are. And I am now going to see how long it takes me to reveal stuff. So I'm going to click on the reveal. And then if you scroll down as I reveal this, you will see the office that you guys have just entered into. If I can, come on. There we go. So I think you can scroll down the page now. And you walk into the Acellus Primus police office for the narcotics department, and your captain is standing at the back of the room. You see her desk and things kind of all around. You do notice on the desk, the computer screen, that there currently appears to be an image of what looks like a spaceship, kind of like in space on it. And as you walk in, you see that your captain is currently just like staring out into the streets and things below within the station, watching the comings and goings of people outside. As you all kind of like stroll in, she doesn't turn and look at you right away. She just says, "Good morning, detectives." And then as she says this, she turns and looks at you, and you can see that there's like a glimmer of excitement on her face. And she kind of like walks over to her table and makes the image on that much bigger. And she says, and she actually flicks it onto like a display wall, right? So you can see in all its glory a much bigger version of this. And I'm still learning the shortcuts for this game, but you see, oh, come on. Okay. What layer am I? Okay, I want to go here. Oh no! Oh, because I have to change my tool. All right. Did that work? Okay. Poof. This is what you guys see pop up on her big display. This particular ship floating in space, and she looks at you all. She says, "Welcome, everybody. I'm sorry to pull you out of bed so early in the morning. I hope you managed to get some sleep, but I don't expect that you're gonna get yourself a good night rest for a little while, because something has come up. This, as you see here, is let me go back. Okay, so about 30 minutes ago, she says, a pilot encountered an anonymous scanner reading. He stopped, investigated the area, and he found this particular spaceship floating in space. He was able to get the ident tag off of it. It's registered as the Aurora. It was drifting in space, and he reported that it was dead. There's no lights, no power, just floating in space. He then reported it to us here at the police department, and my understanding is he briefly, reported it, came in, and I'm not sure what happened after that, but he reported this spaceship floating in space, and I would like the four of you to get to that ship. He gave us the coordinates. I want you to get to that ship. I want you to board it. I want you to carry out a full investigation, and then I need you to report back the findings. Do you have any questions?
You know that green light that's on your office, like above the door? Can I get one of them for my office? Because I'm sick of people walking in. So if I could just have it red most of the time.
Why don't you just get a red light?
You could just
Oh
buy
yeah,
one.
I could just stick a red light above
Yeah.
my door and no one will bother me.
Yeah.
All right, but yes, we can head to that. And I'm awake anyway, so we'll go there.
You're a strange man. You realize that your office is out there with all the other desks. Like, were you just planning on hanging a red light over your desk?
Yeah. What do you think?
Okay, you feel free to do whatever you want. You can't, charge that light to the department though. You have to take care of that yourself.
Well, it's less appealing now.
So, anyhow, back to the Aurora.
Yeah. So what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go there,
So,
and what are we
is there
supposed to do?
any
Detect?
extra importance to this? Like, is there a reason behind it, or?
Well, yes. Time is of the essence here. But here, I'll give you a bit more information.
Okay.
I was trying not to influence your investigation, but at
Okay.
the same time, so this is a Lakon Type 7. It is registered to a company called Swan Corp Pharmaceuticals. Okay, this company, it went out of business 10 years ago. It sold things like painkillers, regular over the counter pharmaceuticals, but
Mhm.
that doesn't explain how the company actually seemed to be making way more profits at the time than what it was selling would allow for. There was rumors of the time that they were linked to another company called a sister company called Black Swan, and this Black Swan, while unproven, there were ideas and thoughts that this was a company kind of dealing on the not so legal side of the drug market. And this transport hasn't been seen for 10 years. It was registered to Swan Corp, and now it's just reappeared.
Okay.
Nobody's heard of it in 10 years.
So, do we have cameras here? In the station?
In the station? Of course we have cameras in the station.
Can we have those checked for whoever came in to report the problem, just in case he knows more than he's letting on?
Oh, the pilot that reported? Yeah. There should be some files on the report in the computer. You could probably bring up the records and the cameras. I don't know if he actually came in into the department itself. He might have just filed a report over the communicators. But you should find everything in the files if you're interested. I don't.
Okay.
I'm more interested in getting out to the ship. So do your due diligence, but don't spend too much time in here.
Understood.
Should we expect any? Is the ship abandoned?
The report
Like this-
was that there was no power, there's no running lights. It was tumbling, drifting in space. So as far as I know, it should be an abandoned spaceship.
And was
Okay.
their criminal activity ever militant, or was it just purely monetary?
The Aurora, you mean?
Well, this company that owned it, yeah.
Well,
Like,
officially, the company that owns it is Swan Pharmaceuticals, and on the books.
Yeah.
And as far as we were able to prove 10 years ago, they were a completely legitimate pharmaceuticals company.
okay.
Now, obviously, we do have information. There's a file. It's secured. We don't. This is all rumors, but there is a secured file that talks about our thoughts on what White Swan or what Swan Pharmaceuticals was all about, and our the pieces and evidence and things that we'd been picking up along the way about this so-called Black Swan, but nothing was ever
Sure.
proved.
Okay.
All right. So do you want to go? Should we leave?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Simple
you
as
guys
that.
ready? So, all right. Well, yeah. I mean, you can check with the clerk on your way out if you're concerned and you want to look at any of the files. But
Yeah,
you need to
can
get out
we-
there as quick as you can. And report back with your findings.
Are we able to take a copy of the files to look over, on our way to the ship or anything?
Sorry, say that again.
Are we able to take a copy of the files to look over
Yes, for sure.
on the way to the ship?
The clerk should be able to transfer them to your
All right.
communicator devices. Yes.
Oh, great.
Yes, no problem. Are we good?
All right.
Like
Yeah,
we need to
I'm
get this
good.
investigation off.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let me know what you find. And then she turns back around, sits down at her computer, and she starts working through something on the machine.
Okay, so
Alright.
do we just from a logistics point of view, are we going in our own ships, or are we all going to get into one ship?
Good question.
be like a
in
little
this
road
in this
trip.
role playing game, you all have your own spaceships. You all have a Viper Mark III space vessel that actually I've got a boink. This is what you guys will be flying. You all have your
Ooh,
own.
Nice.
Can mine be pink?
Aw.
Oh, sorry.
No, yours
Yep.
can be pink.
No, you can have pink.
Yeah. So
I'll
I'm
have
just
pink stripes.
Okay.
FYI, I'm assuming that your ships are colored the same way that I've made your tokens and everything. So,
Oh, great.
you can. So as far as the stream goes, as far as what we're doing, like as far as like the mechanics of it or whatever, right? Like you'll have a color, so it's easy to know who's who. But yeah, you can say your ship is whatever color you want it to be.
Police issue pink.
Yeah.
So are these our own personal ships, or are they like police issued?
They're police issued. They belong to the police department. You all have been issued a Viper Mark III. They are identical as far as their build mostly. You have a slight variance on weapons and things, but yeah, like these were given to you by the police force, and they own them. Yeah. So if you if you damage them in a way that is unbecoming an officer, that might be a problem.
Okay, so are we all going to get into our own ships?
Yeah.
Well, so you
We
do
can have
know
a race.
that I'll just like reiterate, I guess, on your way out of the captain's office back into the bullpen, you do know that if you want, you can go talk to the clerk and maybe check out some of these files, or you definitely want to go to the locker room, pick up your gear, right? And you also know that there is a police department quartermaster as well, that if you want to try and get anything other than your standard issue, you can try and wheel and deal with him to get something fancy. But all of those things are optional, and if you want, you can just go straight for your spaceships and head out. You've got the coordinates already on your communicators.
Okay, so we're standing right outside the captain's office now because we've just left. Is that where
Yep.
we're at?
That's where you're at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's my question to everyone. Are we all getting in our own ships?
Oh,
Well, I'm
no,
not
I want
getting
to ride with you.
Oh.
Okay,
I didn't realize the Viper Mark II is only a one-seater.
Yeah,
So I
there's
can't sit
actually
on his lap?
It's a single pilot ship. It is, sadly.
Oh,
all right.
okay.
Okay, so we should probably all fly on our own. It just seems bad for the environment.
The space environment?
The space environment, yeah. So all of that void could be hurt.
Yeah.
Fill in the void.
Okay,
Yes.
so Ed, do you want to go to the clerk and get some files?
Yeah, I'll go collect the files and see what he knows, and I'll meet you in the locker room.
Okay, yeah, I'll go to the locker room and
Yeah.
change out of my pajamas and get into my police.
Police
outfit.
pajamas. Oh.
Yeah, your police jumper, your spacesuit, I think that's what they not a full-on spacesuit, a flight suit. You'd be getting into your flight suits, which are like full jumper style, right? But they also are they're vacuum sealed, right? So when you're flying in space, if anything goes bad, you can be protected,
And it keeps in the freshness.
and it keeps in the fresh.
Oh,
All right. So if
Yeah,
if you head to the lockers, then you're going to be picking up whatever's on your character sheet as far as gear is concerned. That's where it's all stored right now. So you'll have everything on your character sheet once you go to the lockers.
Okay.
Sorry, Jenya, go ahead.
I'm gonna go and talk to the clerk.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you head over to the clerk. There's a man sitting at a table, like kind of working away on a computer. He's near the front entrance. Doesn't see you coming.
No, I sneak up on him. No. All right. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Be there.
Hey. Oh, hey, Jenya. How you doing? Haven't talked to you in a while.
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing good. It's a bit early, but yeah, good as can be.
I guess so. I'm in the middle of my shift. I had, so it's normal for
Oh,
me.
true. Yeah. Yeah. So this ship that we're going to, the Aurora.
Aurora?
Oh, do you know about this?
Oh, is this a
mission
new
that
case? Like, I would.
Yeah.
I
new
don't know.
case.
If you got the file number, I can pull up anything you want, or what you said, Aurora.
sure, I do.
I can search for the
Great.
Aurora. You've got the name. Obviously, you would also have been given like basic file information.
Yeah.
So he starts to kind of look through the system, and he pops up a basic file for you, and I will add this to all of your guys's journal, all players. Okay, so you guys should now all have access to a file that was just given to you. I will transition this back so that Spidey can pull that up for people to see. But this is the information. So he pulls up this file, and so I'm giving you guys this in handout form too. So next session or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You've got reminders of the things that you guys have discovered along the way. But he pulls up some information. He's like,
Yeah,
Oh, wait, I
so
think
from a logistics perspective, I don't see this yet because she hasn't given it to me.
that's true. Yeah. I'm just putting it
Okay.
in your guys'
Right.
folders just so that you have access to it. But so
Okay.
I
Right.
shared you two files. So the first one I shared you is actually the second file. So the first one is you look at the report derelict type 7.
But not
So
yet.
this is so he looks it up and he's like, oh yeah, here we go, derelict ship.
Yep.
It looks like Richard Yin. Looks like it was the name of the pilot that reported that in. Details, en route. He scanned something. He's saw the source of the derelict ship. I hear probably. I mean, you know more about this than I do. Yeah, there it is. Aurora. That's the name of the ship.
Yeah.
Is this what you're looking for?
Yeah. Yeah, sure is. Is this everything that we know?
Oh well, there's that, and there's this other file here on what we have on this Mr. Richard Yin.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. I mean, this is, I think, the first time we've dealt with this guy, at least from what I can tell.
Yeah.
He's just basic information here on when he showed up. It looks like he did actually depart or arrive here in Beagle 2. Just reported
Okay.
this, and maybe I don't know, maybe just got some refueling. He was here for a very short time. It looks like.
All right. Thanks for that.
All right.
I guess that's
Uh,
everything.
Yeah. That's what I got. I mean, I don't know if
All
you
right,
guys can find
great.
anything else. You've got higher clearance than I do, maybe. I don't know, but that's what I know.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I'll leave you to it.
Well, you have a good day.
All right, and then I'll go to the locker room and grab all my stuff and get ready.
All right. So yeah. So you find your partner, Mr. Gabriel Baxter, in the locker room, kind of already filling up,
Mhm.
putting on his flight suit, getting everything going.
Yep.
It's co-ed, obviously, in the future.
I've already got my flight suit on.
Okay. You're a quick changer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you were
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
And
once
so
you have
do I
this
have-
information. Sorry, I was just gonna say once you have this information on your communicators and stuff, you can, if you want, you can very easily just share it with everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna share it with everyone, and I'll mention to Gabriel, like, oh, I just got the file report or whatever.
Have you
I'll
sent it to me?
Oh, I'm literally doing it.
Well-
That's why I'm telling you.
Okay, so this Richard guy,
Oh yeah.
He looks a bit funny.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That's all I've got to contribute on the matter so far. I think I need to do a bit of reading.
Well, let's pop over to Ed and Henry. What do you? So while this research was happening with the clerk, what do you two want to be doing?
Spidey, you want to go?
Sure. I think Henry would, he's pretty no nonsense, so I think he would just be already probably changed by now, like kind of tapping his foot outside the
waiting by the front door.
police precinct, just waiting for everyone else to show up.
Beautiful.
You would notice that his flight suit's a little bit different. It's been tailored a little bit different because his left arm is a robotic arm, so technically it doesn't have to be in a flight suit. So it's sealed, like his suit seals like above his left shoulder, and just leaves his cybernetic arm fully exposed.
Right. Yeah. You would definitely have to do custom work for that kind of stuff. Cool. So you're standing just like outside the front door in the corridor, kind of like waiting for your team to get their act together.
Show up. Yep. And he's chewing his caffeine gum, trying to wake up.
Beautiful. Ed, what are you up to?
Well, I'm now got the all the details on my little thing.
Yeah. So you have access to those two files that Jenna got from the clerk.
Now I want to go over to the clerk and ask him a question quickly.
Okay.
So I'm going to go over and approach, and I'm going to ask him, do we have any facial recognition technology built into the station?
Well, I mean, yeah. Basics.
We do.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the man that you've got a file on, known as Richard Yin, can you run his face and see if his name comes up as anything else?
Well, I did. I gave the file that we have on Mr. Yin to your compatriot there already. Is that not what you're looking for?
I just want to make sure that he is who he says he is, rather than just taking his word for it.
Oh, you're smart. This is why you made detective, That's why I'm still sitting here at this desk. How would you do that?
That's what I mean. I don't know if you've got some kind of facial recognition to see if we can run him by if we've booked him for something in the past. But I don't know if that exists.
So, out of game, yes, you do know that this kind of stuff exists. And if you would like to actually, sit down on on your own machine or whatever and try and dig for a little bit more information, you can do that. This guy does not look like he's capable in handling the request that you are asking about. But you do have a desk and you do have your own computer, and you can definitely do some digging on your own if you want to try and see if you can find a little bit more.
No, I'll go and get geared up, and I'll maybe do it in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna probably need to use the department computer, so you might want to do it before you leave.
Yeah. Oh, we're not coming back here? Okay, well I'll go ahead and do that then.
Well, you do know that this when you're going to explore the ship, it's out in space, right? So you'll have to come back.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you maybe can't come back, but you never know what's gonna happen.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll just go for now. I'll just trust that he is who he says he is.
All right. Okay. So as you go geared up, the three of you then kind of make your way out to the front area, and you see Henry standing there tapping his foot loudly because it is made of metal. Or do you have a cybernetic leg? I can't remember. No, you don't.
Nope.
Okay, so you just have the arm, right? Yeah. So
Yep.
so he's tapping his normal foot.
Arm and eyes are the visible ones.
The arm and the eyes are the invisible ones. Yeah. He maybe has a steel toe boot though, so it's still loud.
Tap dancing shoes.
Tap dancing shoes. All right. So you're doing a little jig out there waiting for them.
Yep.
But okay, so you guys all arrive out front. What's next on the docket?
Oh, well, I'm going to tell Henry that I sent him the report and the file on Richard Yin.
Thank
Just
you.
let him know.
Pull it up in my comm unit. Check it out.
Yep.
Yeah. So you come across those two pieces of information. Basically, just a very simple record of Mr. Richard Yin, him arriving, him leaving, and then the basic report about the Type 7 with pretty much the same information that the captain gave you, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's seems pretty straightforward, like a standard police report. And for in real life, for Apple, I actually looked up what some police reports look like when I was making this.
Okay, so we're all standing around. Henry's read that report now. So what we know, I'm just talking to the others.
Mhm.
Just to summarize what we know, there's a guy called Richard.
Yeah. He's a courier.
He's a courier. And we don't know whether he is who he says he is, but he has reported this. He's
We've
reported
got
this
no
shit.
reason not to trust him. I don't know. There's something I don't like.
Fair enough.
Okay, so are we going to head straight there, or do you want to do some more digging before we go?
I don't want to hold us up. Like they said, we need to go, so we should probably just go.
Right. If you want to do some digging, that's fine. I can work on my red light.
Okay, well, in the time that you have to work on your red light, I want to go to the computer and see what I can dig up.
All right.
Okay.
So Henry, as you were like, oh yeah, they're all here. Like we're gonna get going. Oh, and you see, you see Ed turn around and walk back into the office, heading for his desk, and you see Ed walk over to his desk, and I'm assuming like get up on top of it and start like fumbling with the ceiling, and you have no idea what he's doing.
So I think at this point, Henry's just gonna walk across the street, go to the street meat vendor, get like a big hot dog, and just sit down on a bench outside.
I'm gonna go with Henry and get some food.
All right. I will remind you, Spidey, if you are interested, that while they're doing this, you may, if you would like, go see the police armory.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Probably should do that.
Because I remember you said earlier that you had some interest in that, so I'm just reminding you.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go do that.
All right. So Jenny, are you off with Henry then to go talk to the armory?
Yeah.
All right. So then, Ed, you sit down at your computer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you start messing with the or going through the computer trying to see if you can find anything more, like punching in information you have, like the Aurora, the file number, all that kind of stuff. This is gonna be the first roll of the night, so can I get you to roll me a computers check? I believe it is.
Right.
So open up your character sheet. If you
got that.
Go into your roll 20, and then should be able to find in the skills computers.
So yeah, I think I've got that. Have I? I don't seem to be able to see me right now. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, computers. I've just got to find it.
Yeah, it's under
how far
intelligence.
down is it? Oh dear. Oh,
So
that's not going to be good.
Character sheet, character,
Character.
and then intelligence.
Intelligence.
Right.
Okay. Am I just completely blind? Like, oh, I see computer. Sorry. Yeah. Got it. Okay. So
you should
ready?
just be able to hit the little roll button beside that, and then it'll pop it out.
Did I do a thing? I
You
think I
did a thing. You've got you got an 8. So for people watching, this is a D10 system. Basically, you roll 1d10 and then you add your bonus to that. And so yeah, it's not like Dungeons and Dragons and things of that nature where you're using d20s and you have a variety of dice. Basically, everything in this game is done with d10s. So an 8 is actually pretty decent on your roll. And you start searching through the computer systems, and you manage to come across some extra information that might be of interest to you. So I will share this file with all players, and of course it's up to Ed to share this with you guys. I will flip over, so if Spidey, you can throw that up if you want to show the audience.
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, Ed.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
I'm yelling across the bullpen.
Actually, while
Can
he's
you-
searching before,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to use Gabriel. Before he like as he's researching, and trying to find this file, I need you to roll me an athletics check while you're messing around on top of your desk. So
what I've
in,
done so far, I found someone else's communicator. I realized it had a red light on it, and I'm attempting to pull it apart. And now I've climbed up on the desk. So that means I've got to roll something.
Yeah, so go into your
Under-
character sheet. Under the, I think it's espionage, there should be a skill called athletics. Oh,
There we go.
wow, yes, that's a 10. Not a crit, but a 10. Yeah, so you're able to now have this, like you are up on top of the desk in full kind of like ballerina mode, trying to put this thing together. And as you're building out this marvelous contraption with the greatest of dexterity, you call out to your friend Ed. And what do you say?
I just want you, Ed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize we had to act everything out. No, it's this way. Ed,
Yes.
I just want you to read out what you're finding, just so that I can keep abreast of the
Right.
what's it
Yeah,
called,
you
an
want-
investigation.
Yeah. Right.
what
Just
have you found?
before. Okay. Yeah. I've found that he is who he says he is, or at least his name is, but he seems to have been convicted of some crimes in the past. More importantly, how's your light coming along?
It's not that great. I was fantastic at getting up here. I
Right,
thought I was
yeah.
going to fall. I did
Do you
really
want some
well
string?
at climbing.
I think I got some string
Oh,
around here
yeah.
somewhere.
That's a good idea, because at the moment I'm just sort of trying to stick a light that I pulled out of this communicator directly into the ceiling, and it's not going well.
Okay. Okay. Can I search my drawer for a bit of string? This is important.
Yes, you can. You can find like some string or some something to tie with, no problem.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. I got some string. Enjoy.
Oh,
You
thanks.
can tie it up with that.
All right. So what was he convicted of?
He was smuggling drugs. I don't know when. It's got no date to it, but he's been cleared of it when we received a payment of 1.5 million credits. So it's interesting to see where he got that kind of money from.
Okay. Are you going to search for anything else, or should I hurry up and finish what I'm doing?
Well, while we're away, I'm just going to ask the clerk to see what kind of ship he was using and everything, so we've got the information on what he might be using, so we can keep an eye out for him. But aside from that, yeah, we're good to go.
Okay. What's next?
All right. So we've got Henry and Jenya over at the. While this is all happening, Henry and Jenya are over at the quartermaster. You walk in to the kind of like the front entrance of the quartermaster's area, and you see a burly old man. And Henry, you know this guy. He's a Sergeant Skokolov, and he is also a cyborg like you. He's got a powerful kind of like arm attachment as well, but you also notice that like he's got like half his face is kind of like burned like in bad ways and things, and he looks like he's definitely been through some hard times, and you know this guy, you know that he has basically come across some hard times in the active duty or whatever, and with his pay and with the kind of like the insurance policies of the police department, he wasn't able to basically get like all of the damage done to him really regenerated and fixed and things, and so he kind of went halfers on it and got some cybernetic stuff to make him at least a full human again in some ways, right? But he's upset about it. Like he really wishes that he could restore himself to full humanity one day, and he wants to get back out in the field, and he's really like a bit cranky about being stuck behind the desk here while he's trying to put together enough funds to kind of like repair himself in the air quotes proper way.
Cool.
But
So Henry would just approach and say, "Hello, my friend," and he reaches out for like a fist bump with his non-mechanical arm, so his right arm, because he
All right.
knows that the guy's a little sensitive about his cyborg parts.
right, yeah, and he's like, "Oh, Henry, Mr. Kincaid, welcome back. So, what brings you into my establishment this fine day?"
Well, the chief has given us a bit of a mission. We are going to inspect a derelict, and you know how those things can go. You never know what you're going to find on the inside. So I was hoping to maybe get a little, I don't know, something with a little bit more kick than my service laser pistol.
All right. Well, yeah. So yeah, I mean, you obviously got your standard issue weapon there. Well, let me see. And he like pulls up the file. What was that? You said the Aurora. What was the file number? And he types it in.
Yep.
Looks at you and he's like, "Huh. Well, Captain hasn't proved any extra gear for this particular mission. Like, it's just according to this, it's the derelict ship. There should be like nobody there. Just, head on in, look around, make a report.
Well,
done with it.
You know me. After my previous experiences, you figure things out, and you always know that sometimes these derelict ships are pirates hiding in wait, trying to lure salvagers in to ambush them, steal their gear. So I'd rather not have to, attach more cybernetic parts to myself.
I see. Yeah, it's an interesting point. You could be right. So, Spidey, I'd like you to roll me a diplomacy check.
Ooh.
You are using logic on this man, trying to get him to help you out. And we are in a disco, it seems. he has an interesting choice of music, this guy.
He's got a speaker in his arm.
Yeah, that's right. Like built
Just
into
a
the arm. Yeah,
speaker.
it's just
Yep.
his shirt is like bouncing under the bass.
Anything to get through the day.
Yeah.
That's right.
I rolled a 4.
Ooh, he's like, I could get in real trouble for handing out gear that you're not authorized for, especially when the captain didn't specify anything. I don't know if I can do anything for you.
I understand. I do not want to get you in more trouble.
I appreciate that, Henry. I appreciate it. You understand me. I mean, you go in by choice, but I think we kind of have an understanding about how, and he's like moving his arms, like, how these things kind of like change your life. So, roll me like a charm check just to see if, because it's you, I'm going to give you a little extra chance because you guys have a bit of a rapport.
Ooh, worse. 3.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, if it wasn't, explicitly against the orders, I could probably help you out, but sorry, not today, man.
I understand.
So he's like, is there anything else I can do for you, or are you good?
He kind of looks back at Jenya, see if Jenya has anything to ask, request, or if she wants to give it a try.
I think I'm good. I'm not too worried about the ship. So yeah, I think we should just get going.
So it's good to see you, Jenya, he says, as you kind of like guys turn around and walk back out, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to see you.
So you guys all have your
Bye.
gear then? You're all suited up.
Yeah.
You're got some extra information. What do you do?
All right. Well, we're Henry and I. We're coming out of the quartermaster place. Is that like right near the bullpen? Like, do we have to go back through there?
Yeah,
Or-
no, you guys are like very close to each other. Like it's part of the police department, right? So
Okay, yeah. So I'll head into where Ed and Gabriel are and see what they're doing, see what they're up to.
all right. So yes, have you two wrapped up your, MacGyvering of the red light, or?
Yeah, there's a bit of string with a light with exposed wires hanging from one of the ceiling things on the ceiling. I don't know
Okay.
what's in the ceiling of this police department.
All right.
But I would like to. I realize that everyone else is ready to go, but I'm not, and I would like to run down and get my equipment as well.
Well, when you were in the locker room, you would have been able to get that stuff, right? So.
Okay, what were they getting? I don't think I understand.
We were just talking
Oh,
to the quartermaster to see if we could get extra.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I thought
they were trying to get
they had
extra special stuff.
Yeah. All right. I don't need that.
All right.
That's right. You've got your
See,
special equipment already.
I see Gabriel's light, and it looks great. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Fair enough.
Okay, I'd like to step away from my desk so people can now talk to me.
Beautiful. It's already working. So yes, so you guys have regathered, sadly, just with your basic gear, but you now have a place where you know you can be left in peace if you need it.
Okay, so do we now decide what we're doing next as a group?
Well, I'm going to ask Ed, did you find anything?
Yeah, so I found an extra file on him, which I can ping to you all now.
Oh, great.
Which says that he's actually been convicted of something before. The record's clear because he's paid about $1 million and a half credits. So.
Oh, wow.
It's for drug smuggling too. So it'll be interesting to see if there's some kind of connection there.
Yeah. Do we think he might have taken anything from the Aurora?
I mean, it's
smuggler?
possible. He was the only one out there by himself, and he confirmed his reports with somebody on the landing bay. But there's no saying what he got up to while he was out there. So I think we need to keep him as a suspect for the time being.
Plus, he did
definitely.
leave quite quickly.
Yeah, he was in a rush.
Yeah, we should see if we can get someone to go and get him.
Yeah, see if we got any data on his ship or anything.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah,
Yeah, you could totally. So whoever is looking to see if they can find more information on him and on the ship and stuff, I need a computers check from somebody. So you're all together now. So if you want, you can just have the person with the best computers roll that.
I'm pretty high on computers. I'll sit down on my computer and do that. What is everyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, great. I'll do that. So just roll computer.
Yep, roll your computers check. You guys are doing awesome. That's a natural one. that's a critical fail. So, so like
I just tripped to my desk and I slammed the keyboard.
Yeah. You're looking. You look through the computer system trying to find more information about this Yin, right, and the ship and things of that nature, and you're like, oh, I found it, and you pull up this file here, and you're all excited when you open it up, and
are we all standing around the computer?
You're all standing around, yes.
Doing?
Yeah, you're all standing around as she's doing this, and you see her pull up the file, and you realize all at the same time that she has found the registration record for the Aurora, not
Yeah.
Yin.
Sorry guys, it is quite early in the morning.
But you do see that this ship is definitely registered with Swan Corporation Pharmaceuticals. Yeah, and the basic information about that.
Yeah, I seem to remember hearing a long time ago that this was urgent. So should we be getting going?
Yeah, probably.
Does anybody want any food before we go? Just to be sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just checking.
I had a biscuit.
Do you need? There's a biscuit on the floor there, Ed.
Oh.
Do you really need more food? It seems to fall on.
Okay. Yeah, I've got enough for us all. It's all good.
All right.
One thing I forgot to show you guys was this is the sergeant. That's who you went and met at the
Oh. I love his chops.
Yeah.
Mutton chops.
But yes, you look kind of like over your shoulder, and you notice that the police captain, or she's still in her office doing some work. But you imagine that if she was to walk out of her office at this moment and see you all standing around here still,
She'd be real mad.
With the new light installed.
That's right.
But we're prepared now.
Yeah.
We have some
Yep.
information. We're not going into this blind.
Yep, you've got some. That's for sure. It's good.
Okay,
All right.
so how do we get in our ship and leave? Is that the next thing that we've...
Yeah. So yeah,
what we
now you
do?
want to head down to the spaceport and get into your into your spaceships.
Yep.
Are we all parked
Alright.
next to each other?
Well, you go down and you can go to your landing, like down to the landing bay, and yeah, you're all kind of like in the same general area. I've just revealed kind of like a picture of what it looks like inside of the docking bay. This is the landing area inside of the central area of the space
This
station.
is where the disco music should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, so I think that disco music is actually still going on in the background. I don't know if you can hear that still, but
Yeah.
but yeah. So you guys make your way down, way down to the space station, and can I have to remember to keep changing back to a different control. But yeah, so you make your way down, and you can all get into your separate spaceships. You got a Viper
Yep.
Mark III each, and you drop in into your amazing pieces of equipment. And they are. So each of you kind of like each go to a different landing bay. Your permission is already cleared. You guys are free to take off. Does anybody want to showboat their way out of the space station, or are you gonna nice and calmly just exit the property?
I wait a bit because I assume Gabriel is going to do something silly on his
No.
way out.
I very calmly get into my ship and very calmly leave.
Oh. It's unexpected.
All right.
I feel like I should make you roll a bluff check. I'm kidding.
No, I want to defy expectations. I'm annoyed that people always think that I just mess around.
All right. Yeah.
All right,
So
yeah, and I calmly head out too.
you calmly head out as well. How about you, Henry and Ed?
Henry's very by the book. I think he's using autopilot. He's not even touching that stick.
He's using the docking computer to let it
Yeah.
exit out of the ship. So as you turn on the docking computer, you do hear elevator music. It's built into the system, and you can't turn it off no matter how much you want to. So you hear, like Bach in the background as you
Yep.
head on out. How about you, Ed?
He's
What are you
tapping
up
his
to?
foot to it.
I'm just a couple of finger pistols at people as I go, but that's about it.
Yeah. So you're basically are you using autopilot too, so that you can like get up out of your seat and like walk around and like point out the.
Oh
the
yeah,
front?
yeah. Well, I'm not... yeah.
All right. So you all calmly, slowly, one by one, in proper single file, exit out through the what's called the what's its face, the mail slot. So you'll see there in the picture that I'm showing you now, where it's got the little red light on one side and the little green light on the other side. They really like their lights in this universe, and you have to exit on the green side.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think you'll need to refresh that map cam, just so you know.
Oh, is it doing weird things?
Yeah, it's just doing a bit of
Lincoln.
flickering.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Let me see if I can. I'll close that.
They
I
can still
will.
see, just...
Refresh
And,
it. And now you're gonna get the mouse moving all over the screen. Sorry, everybody. Okay, and then I want to pick this screen, and then I want to pop it out again. There we go. Is that working better? Hope so.
Looks like it.
All right, good.
Okay.
So that's the exit. You'll notice this small little exit out through the front of the station. It's called the mail slot, lovingly. You guys single file move your way out of the station one by one, and in your rear display, you can see the beautiful space station orbiting and spinning in its splendor. That's the station where you guys live. That's the station you just left. As you come zipping out the front of the mail slot there, one after the other, and heading towards, I'm assuming, the coordinates that you guys had been given by your boss. Correct?
Yeah. Is that do our ships like pilot themselves? We just plug some coordinates in and then we end up there?
No, you actually have to fly. You actually have to fly there. There's autopilot that allows you to dock and leave the no-fly zone, the no-fire zone of the station. But then once you are about 7 kilometers outside the station, you're no longer under what's called mast lock, because the size of this station is so heavy, so massive that it interrupts with the frame shift drive on your spaceship, which allows you to go to faster than light speeds. But once you're out of that range, you hold that controls.
How far away? I'm not quite sure where this ship is in relation to is it a long way away?
No, so it'll probably take you guys, like a couple of minutes to get to the coordinates from once you get into supercruise speeds, because that's faster than light travel.
Right. And can we communicate with each other over the space radio?
Yes,
is that a thing? So we're just talking to each other?
Yep,
Okay.
You can totally have open comms. And one other thing that you guys can do too, actually, is what's called wing lock. So you can actually all have your spaceships locked to each other. So in the event that you need to drop out of supercruise, and I probably should explain some of these terms I'm using, but if you're all flying together within close enough formation, and then one of you either gets ripped out of supercruise, let's say by a pirate or something, or drops out purposefully, everybody will drop out together. So you all stay together no matter what. Normally that's standard procedure to do that, but sometimes you might not want to, right? Depending on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a thing that we want, right? If we're all talking to each other on the radio right now, shall we all do that wing lock thing?
All right.
Once we're clear of the station, and then we'll head right there.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Agreed. Yep.
All right.
Okay. Do I need to do something for that, or is it?
No, this is you don't need to roll for this one. This one is you guys are trained pilots. You all one after the other lock onto each other, and then you leave relativistic space and you jump into supercruise, which is faster than light travel, and you are now like massive, kind of like electromagnetic light sources in the system, flying at crazy speeds through the solar system, and you're heading towards the coordinates that you were given by your police chief. I will show you the view of your beautiful planet as you go flying.
Just a very important question: do our ships have police sirens?
So in space, nobody can hear you scream. So it would.
Yeah. So we have sirens that just broadcast openly on the radio.
Yes, you definitely have those.
It's
and
got
you also
a radius,
have
and the
lights.
second you enter the radius, it starts sounding.
That's right. You definitely have lights for sure, Boris. I want to be clear on that.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have them on. I just wanted to check for future reference.
Yes, but yes, you can totally do the standard police broadcast though over comms. Yes.
Right. Okay. And then, so we've arrived at this planet.
So you're flying past this. The coordinates are just on the other side of this planet. So you guys are basically making your way around that planet, trying to head towards the coordinates that your police chief gave you. And As you are all heading towards those coordinates, all of a sudden you hear over your communications devices on your spaceships, all simultaneously, there is a distress signal coming in. As you hear, "Mayday, Mayday! This is Commander Ackerman. I am a trader flying out of the Iranian system, and I'm under attack by pirates. I'm outnumbered 3-1 and need immediate assistance. Repeat, immediate assistance! Help!"
Let's just keep going. I'm joking. It's a joke.
Would police in this universe usually go and deal with that sort of thing? Or would they just call it in and leave it, like detectives? I'm just trying to get an idea of what a detective would normally do.
Right. So if it was like an urgent situation, you probably would be expected to deal with it. If it's something that, like if you were on a mission like you are, right, and there's enough time for somebody else to deal with the situation, then you could definitely call that in. You can open communications with this particular Ackerman if you would like to like determine the urgency. Although he did say he was being attacked by pirates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems pretty urgent.
What do we want to do?
Tell him to hang tight and we'll pick him up on the way back.
Do we... So we're all going to communicate with him at once? Oh, are we actually going to communicate with him?
Yeah.
Shall we ask him?
I guess. What does everyone else
So your
think?
options are basically you can try and lock in on his signal and drop in like right away. You can open communications to talk to him. You can ignore him and keep flying. Or whatever else you can think of.
Well, I feel like, as the doctor, not to, bring up the doctor card this early,
Yeah.
but as the doctor, I feel like we should help him. Either that or wait until he gets hurt and then I can fix him.
Yeah, you're out of a job if he doesn't get hurt. Maybe we should just back off a little bit, let him get banged up, and then go help.
Awesome.
I think we should go help him.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
you guys are just gonna
do we
try
just
and
go
drop in?
straight there?
Yeah. We'll drop.
Okay,
in.
so yeah, if you're trying to basically lock on and do an emergency drop on him as fast as you can, then
Yeah.
I'm going to need. You're basically going to need to do a spaceship piloting check. So you've got a couple of options at this point, because you're all nav locked to each other. What you can do is all follow one person and have that person try to quickly lock onto this and drop in on it. The downside to that is that if that one person fails, then you all fail, right? You all drop in somewhere too far away, right? You don't lock in properly. The other option you have is that you can all try and lock in individually and drop in with your own piloting checks. The upside there is that, like, if one person, like if 3 pass and 1 fail or whatever, you could have it could be a mismatch of how many people show up right away and how many people have to get there a little bit later.
Yeah. I say we should go separately so that we're all like we kind of surround the situation.
Yeah, we're not relying on one.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I agree.
Okay.
Yep.
So who goes first?
Also, what are we
All right.
rolling?
So yes, we can just do this in any order you would like. So why don't we? I'll just go top left to right and then around. So Gabriel, can you roll me Actually, this is this is a operations check. So you're trying to lock on.
Operations.
Yes, I believe that's the.
Right.
It's under your
Systems?
spaceship category. It's your systems. Thank you. It's your systems check.
Systems. Okay, so just roll that systems one.
Roll a systems check and see if you can lock onto the situation quickly. You rolled a 9, total of 9. Yeah, so you lock onto the target, and you drop in, like everybody. You guys all see like him, boom, just flicker out of existence as he drops into real space. Next up, we've got Lyris. Roll me in systems check.
Who's that?
Sorry, Jenya.
Lyric.
Oh,
Lyric.
sorry.
What did I say?
You said
Lyris?
Lyris, I think.
You just
Oh
read
my
it
God.
out.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I got a natural 10.
Where did I get that from? Oh, that's weird. Oh wow, yeah, you crit. You crit on that roll, and so yeah, you have no problem. You just line it up without any problem at all, and you drop in. Go ahead, Henry.
That's what I do.
I have to think about this before I say names. I don't know where I got that name from. That's weird.
I got a 7.
You got a 7? Oh, that's you try and lock onto the target, and you do drop into normal space, but you feel like you didn't quite lock on properly before you dropped out of real space. So you might be a little bit farther away than you expected. Go ahead, Ed.
Oh, there's some pressure now. Is that the right one? Yeah, there you go. 11.
Yeah, 11.
11. All right. Yeah, you have no problem locking in on the target. I believe, Ed, you are like a pretty decent pilot, if I remember correctly. So
That's why there was pressure.
all right. So the three of you. So we've got the three of you drop in right away on this target, whereas Henry, you pop out into real space, and you check your sensors real quick, and you're looking around, and you're like, oh crap, where are they? You realize that you missed the target. You have to get back into Super Cruise, pull around, relock onto the target, and drop in. At this point, you're not in a rush. Like you're obviously just going to take your time, make it happen. You will show up in these basically the second round once.
Cool.
So I am now going to the rest of you all drop into a new scene here. You appear into the system, and you arrive, and you see what looks like a Adder spacecraft. And I believe if I click here, you can see that ping. Do you guys see that ping or no? I need to switch to this. Do you guys see the ping?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, this craft here in the front, this is an Adder class spacecraft. It's a trader vessel, generally speaking, and you burst out of Super Cruise into real space. Your engines flaring. You push back in your seats as gravity kind of like reasserts itself because of the inertial forces, and then you're back in the weightlessness of space. One thing I should mention actually is in the Elite Dangerous universe, there is no artificial gravity, so you guys are actually weightless in your spaceships, and unless you are on like a planet or a large space station that's spinning to give it gravity, you are always in 0G in space. Yeah, you enter in and you see utter chaos before you. There's a small trading vessel, an Adder class spaceship that is being mauled by 3 fighter craft. You can make out quickly by looking at your scanners that there are 2 Sidewinder class spacecraft, which are these guys here, and an Eagle class spacecraft that is basically on top of this Adder. And you see that it looks like it is currently being pummeled by their laser blasts, and it doesn't look like his shields are up, and he looks like he's in a lot of trouble. What do you do?
I think the first thing we've got to do is put our sirens on.
Yeah.
And lights, of course.
Sirens and lights.
Yep. All right. So, how? This is just a question about role playing in general.
Okay.
Yes.
So, out of character, when it comes to these sort of things, are we expected to make snap decisions immediately, as if we were in the situation, or do we kind of consider our options?
You can do both. Basically, what's about to happen is you guys are about to roll for what's called initiative, and then that's going to set your turn order. So we will then be going through one round at a time, everybody taking their turn and deciding what they're going to do. There's a bunch of actions that you have at your disposal, things that you can do to try and in combat, or you can also try and open up communications and talk with these people. But we're basically now into kind of like 6-second increments of time as we kind of work our way through.
All
so
right.
I will actually reveal.
And can we only open communications with the guy that's being pirated, or can we communicate with the people doing the pirating?
Yeah, you can certainly try, right? Like you can definitely, like standard communications, you can try and talk to them if you want as well. So yeah, I just revealed the battle map. So if you scroll down, you will see the situation as it stands. Obviously, Mr. Kincaid, you are currently not there yet. So I will move you just back here. You will arrive in the second round. But so first thing that you guys need to do is roll for initiative. So basically, in your character sheets, if you go look at your on your spaceship tab, that you will have an initiative number. Find out what that bonus is, and then use the. I don't know if we all set up, but I gave some people access. I gave you all access to a roll a d10 macro. I forgot to set this up with everybody before we started, so I apologize to the stream. But basically, if you go to the 3 lines with the dots in front of it,
in our character or in the character ship one. So
well, you can click. Actually, is there a button? Oh no, it's on the ship one. So your initiative in ships will be different than your initiative in person.
So sorry for the stream for this.
No worries, we're learning. Yeah.
So on mine, it's Gabriel-ship. Do I go in that one, or do I go in the Gabriel Baxter character sheet?
Yeah, go into the Gabriel ship one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then under the ship tab.
Yeah. Find your initiative, which is that there. I didn't even fill that in. I'm awesome. So it's your actually it's just tactics. Okay, so actually it will be the same. You can just use your character one because none of you guys have special sensors. So just use your character's initiative, which means if you go to your initiative, like the character, there's actually an initiative button. You can just roll that.
Okay, so who goes? Oh, do we all do this to decide who goes first? Is that what we're doing?
Yep. You all roll that to decide who goes first, and then I'm going to pull up the turn order.
Is that the right one?
I want to.
It's intense music.
It's very intense.
It's combat music. It's supposed to be intense.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this interface. There. Okay. The menu that I'm picking is moving everything above where I can actually click on it. So here we go. I'll add all of you to the turn tracker, and then I'll move you back. So roll your initiative, and then you'll see your number in that little side panel thing, right? Then if you see, do you see the turn order that I just pulled up?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just
Do we
click
put our number in there?
Yeah, just click beside your name where the 0 is, and then punch in your number there.
You have to hit enter.
And you have to hit enter. Yeah.
There we go.
So what happens if 3 of us have 8?
Well, you don't have to worry about me because I'm not here yet.
Yep. Yeah, you're going to be coming in the next round. But yeah, you're basically going to see once I finish putting in all of these, and I'm sure that there's a better way for me to do this as well, but oh my god, these guys are these. Don't worry, these guys are rolling really well too. Oh, there we go. There we go. And then.
Should we say while we're out of character a little bit? I don't know if we mentioned at the start that we're not we're checking chat, but we're not necessarily like reacting to it over voice. We'll just be reacting to it like in the chat.
We should have
so
said
we'll be typing in there.
Well, we'll reply like in the chat itself, and I assume some point soon we're going to have a short break. So
what time are we? Oh wow, yeah, we're already 2 hours in. So actually, combat is about to start. Why don't we take that break right now? Because we're planning to go for 3 hours, so we've gone almost 2 hours now. We'll take a short, like what? I don't know, like 5-10 minute break, or how long do you guys want?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
About that? Okay, and then we'll
as soon
be
as
back.
we all get back. Yeah.
All right, so we are back. You guys are all set up. There we go. You guys are all, and yeah, so you come in, and the 3 of you see the situation where there is an eagle and 2 sidewinders, and they are barreling down on top of this adder. It looks like it's taking tons of damage. It looks like very beat up at the moment. You guys, we've rolled initiative order, so you guys actually get a surprise round out of this because the pirates were not expecting a whole bunch of police officers to show up all of a sudden. And it looks like Henry's died already, so that's cool.
Yep, game over.
There's a giant red X on his spaceship. That's normally the icon I use for dead. But
Well, not here,
So-
Dad.
all right, so I'm going to advance the turn order. So whoever's on the top there in green is their turn. So up first is one of the baddies. Then one of the baddies. We'll move on again because these guys are not expecting you at the moment. So Jenya, you are up first. So now we will give you a
right.
brief understanding of kind of like how space combat works for you. If you look on the map, you actually will see a bunch of descriptions there. So when you're at distance, you have a bunch of options. You can play chicken. You can flee. Fleeing basically means you can run away from the entire battle, like leave. Chicken basically means you can fly at a bad guy and try and ram them, and you're hoping that they will veer out of the way, fail the chicken constitution check, and veer out of the way so that you can get in behind them and try and attack, right? But of course, if they decide not to veer out of the way and you decide not to veer out of the way, then you guys hit each other.
We blow up.
Yeah. So then your next option is to what's called do a joust. Okay. And a joust is basically you are at distance. So you'll see that there's two different zones. There's at distance and then there's up close. So when you're jousting, you can basically fly right at one of the enemies. You can fly at anybody who's up close or at distance. You can fly at one of them and you just basically unleash all your firepower on them. But then at the end of your turn, you end up close. So, and then you can't joust from up close.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to like keep jousting, you'd have to fly in and then get out and then fly back in and get out, right?
Okay.
But yeah, so jousting basically is just fly in at that, fire all your guns. Then you can pass, and passing basically you do nothing this turn, but then you get you can re-roll one check between now and your next turn if you want. And then there's sniping. Sniping, basically, you turn off your engines and you float there in space, and you line up the shot, and you try and take basically an aimed shot at the enemy. You get a plus 2 to your attack when you do that, so that's useful. But it also means that your defense goes to 0, which means that if anybody tries to attack you before your next turn, they automatically hit because you're just sitting there. You're just a sitting duck. And then there's what's called strafing. That's your last option at distance, and that basically means you can basically do a joust. You fly right at the enemy, and you unload your weapons like you would normally do in a joust. But the first time you miss with a weapon, you're done. So let's say you've got 3 or 4 weapons, right? You shoot the first one, you hit, you shoot the second one, you miss. Well, then you can't shoot anymore. But then you get an automatic disengage action, which lets you try and get back out to at distance later. Okay. And then when we get to up close, I'll go through all of those options for whoever's up there first. But those are your basic kind of like attack or combat actions that you can do. Obviously, you also have the option of opening communications and trying talking with either Ackerman or one of the baddies, or talk to your own people. But remember, you're in like about 6 to 10 second increments here, so it's got to be quick.
Yeah, and so can we do things that are like not like fighting, like just moving around and stuff?
Yep, you totally
like,
can.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are only like the way that space combat works here is it tries to keep things kind of simple. So you've got the at distance zone and the up close zone. So you can totally move around in those two zones, but if you want to just stay out at distance and not do anything, you can totally do that too.
Okay.
That would be like a pass, do a pass action, which would actually give you a bonus. So like if somebody tried to attack you or whatever, you could re-roll one check that you've any check that you wanted to do between now and then.
Okay.
Sorry, it's probably a bit of a fire hose, so I apologize. Ask any questions.
No, that's all good. Yeah. And so just with that, the last thing you said, how it's just the at distance and up close. So it doesn't really matter like where we are, like if we're in front of them or behind them or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to worry about like the detailed intricacies of it.
Okay. All right.
Basically, the only thing you have to worry about is like when you're at distance or up close, there's certain actions that you can do, and there's only certain people that you can attack if you're in the different zones.
Yeah. All right. Great. Okay. So I just have my go.
Yep. Yeah, you're up. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
You want to talk to them? You want to attack them? You want to run away?
Ooh. All right. So I think I'm gonna try and communicate with the. Can you see if I click? Oh, that doesn't do anything.
If you have the little arrow icon highlighted in your top left bar, and then you click and hold on a spot,
Yeah.
I should see where you're pinging.
Oh, click and hold. I forget that
Yep.
ship.
Oh yes, the eagle, the red one.
Yeah. Can I try and communicate with them?
Yep, you sure can.
I just. This is the police. Who are you? Stop firing. I don't know if they're firing or not.
Yep, they're all shooting right now. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is the police. Stop what you're doing. Who are you?
Yeah. I like it. So you open up communications and you try and target whoever is flying the green eagle, and
Yeah.
you don't get. You definitely can tell by looking at your systems that the message definitely made it through. His communication system seems to be working just fine, but you don't get any response in return. He just continues to
All right.
fly towards the adder.
All right. That's it. He's been uncooperative. Get him.
Get him. All right. So the most aggressive kind of like straightforward action that you could take right now would be a joust, which is basically fly right at him and then fire all your weapons. If you want to try and be a little more defensive, you can try and stay back, right? Like you can try and do the strafe where you go in, shoot until you miss, and then come back out, or you can just like go in guns a-blazing.
I might. Oh. Yeah, I might try and strafe.
Okay. So who would you like to attack? Who is your target?
I guess the main one.
Okay. So yeah,
one.
the green eagle that is surrounded by a red circle. All right. So yeah. So you can take your token and you can move it up beside the green eagle. Just so that, because you basically, after your attack, you will end up close. So you are now in the up close zone once you're done with that. Sorry, I just hit my microphone, so I hope that didn't hurt anybody's ears. But yeah, so now you can do an attack. So if you click on your spaceship, I think I have built all those macros for you guys. So you have, how many weapons do you actually have? So if you click on your spaceship and then you do a shift double click on it, it'll bring up your character sheet. Go to the character sheet and then the ship. I think you have, so you have 4 weapons. You've got 2 seeker missile racks and you've got 2 fixed pulse lasers. So one thing to know is that if the enemy has his shields up, your kinetic weapons, so your missiles, will do less damage while the shields are still up. If you attack with laser weapons, they will do more damage against shields. So if you want, you can try and fire with your lasers first, and then. Sorry?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can do a sensor scan
can I
if you
tell
would
if
like.
he has shields?
You can do a sensor. Yeah, if you want to do a systems check, you can see if you can get some information about a ship before you attack.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely do that.
What's the limit in this 6 to 10 second period?
Yeah, so
while you were announcing it, you were doing the systems check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think that makes sense. I'm good with that.
Okay. So systems, just in vehicle skills systems?
Yep.
Okay.
7, yeah. You while you're talking with them, you're also fiddling with your sensors to try and get some information about the ships, and you can definitely tell that looks like he has shields are up. There's definitely a force field around his ship.
Okay. So I'll fire with my lasers.
So you have 2 lasers.
Laser.
So go ahead and click on the shoot the laser button.
So it's on the top right.
At the top.
If you close that.
Oh, I see.
the little macros,
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Pulse laser.
All right. So that's an 11. You actually You fire at him, and you just barely, you feel like you're really close, but the laser beam like fires just off the front of the ship, and you miss. Go ahead and fire your second laser.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a critical hit, but sadly, while his shields are still up, you do not get the benefits of a critical hit. You have to hit the hull for that. So, but that's definitely a hit. Hit the roll for damage button.
Verse shields, yes.
Boom! You do 15 points of damage to him. So first it will go against his shields. And once I believe I've got. Oh, am I doing this right? Did I make blue shields? I think I did, right?
Who knows?
Shields.
Green hull.
So yeah, so he takes 15 points of damage against his shields. As you fire those weapons off, though, you do notice that the shields look like they are still up after you finish your attack with that laser. If you would like, you can still fire your missiles at him, but they will do considerably less damage while the shields are still up. And you do have a limited number of missiles.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to do that because I'm doing a strafe.
I messed up. Right, you were strafing, so you actually should have missed. But whatever, you got your 15 points of damage. I messed up. But yeah, your first miss, you were supposed to be done, and I totally forgot. So, but yeah, you hit. We'll say you hit with the first laser, and then you missed with the second laser because I screwed up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I'm the one who's supposed to know the rules here. So I'm going to move your ship now. So basically, what you've done now is, so you've strafed in, you've hit, then you missed with the laser, and now you're turning around, and you're basically, I'm going to put you right on the line here. So you are. You're now basically what's called disengaging, right? So while you are disengaging, somebody can still try and attack you and pull you back into up close. But if nobody successfully attacks you before the start of your next turn, then you will end up at distance at the beginning of your next turn, and then you can joust again or you can strafe again, and whatever you would like. So that is the end of your turn.
Yep.
Next up, we've got Henry, who is currently
here now,
trying to. He's massively. He's getting back into Super Cruise. He's trying to like lock onto the target and drop in. And all of a sudden you see Henry show up. So you can take the X off of your ship. He appears into the battlefield, but he can do nothing this round. Now we have Gabriel.
Okay. All right. Can I? So what are the options for the outdistance is chicken? I didn't hear what that meant.
Okay, actually, so I did actually try to make this helpful for you guys. If you go into your journal and you scroll down to the core book and you click on space combat, I made a handy dandy little book. So you guys can look this stuff up too, between turns. And so if you click on each of those things, it'll open up and it'll give you like bullet points of kind of like what all the different actions are. In your turn, I'll just explain it to you because it's your turn, but everybody else, you feel free to kind of like peruse through those, so you can maybe, kind of have an idea of what you want to do before your turn starts. But yeah, so Boris, you were asking about what?
About chicken. So, it's like playing chicken. So you're literally flying at someone, attempting to collide with them.
Yes, that is exactly what happens. And what you're hoping to do is basically fly at them and make them veer out of the way. Because if you can make them veer and you don't veer, then you get in, like you have a chance to get in behind them with a bonus and then fire all your weapons. But if you both don't veer out of the way, then you will collide into each other and you will both take damage.
Okay. That's what Vic Smokers told me to do. Oh no, he said I can do it.
Would you like to try and play chicken?
No, I feel like I'm the doctor. Ed is the actual, fighter pilot. I should probably do something from a distance, like flee.
No. Beautiful. So is that what you're doing?
So does this happen?
The battlefield?
No. I think I should attempt a snipe of that eagle. Is that
Okay.
a good idea?
Yeah. So
Because
you will have a defense of 0, but the only way that somebody could actually take advantage of that, right, is if they're out at distance with you as well. And right now, they're all kind of like, working away at this guy. So you might have an opportunity to kind of like get away with it. But who knows? Maybe somebody comes out, right? But
yeah. No, I feel like the other two are going to do the up close fighting here, and I'm just going to take a pot shot. So I'm brave.
All right. So Gabriel, I would like you to then make a. So you currently have how many weapons?
A beam laser and a cannon.
Right, but I believe you have
That's
2 of each,
apparently
if
what
I'm
I've
not mistaken. Yes, you have
couldn't see it
2
in
beam
my-
lasers and you have 2 fixed cannons. I didn't write them into your sheet accidentally, but they are on the images. If you open up the images, they're there. But yeah, so you have 2 cannons and you have 2 beam lasers. And so the same is true for you on. So who are you shooting at? Are you shooting at the same one that?
Yeah, the one
Lyric?
that
Or sorry, that
Genya just attacked.
Genya attacked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so based on, because you guys are all in communication as well, based on her attack that it does have shields up, but you also saw it take a big hit by one of her lasers. So if you would like, you can fire your 2 lasers.
My theory is we take them out one at a time so that it reduces the amount of damage that the piratee is going to take. That's my theory. So, what's the difference between a beam laser and a cannon when it comes to shields?
So a cannon is a kinetic weapon, so it's much better against hull once the shields go down, but it will still do damage to shields. But the lasers will definitely they get a bonus against shields while they're up.
Okay, so I should fire. Do I fire 1 beam laser or is it
you're basically
like
just
the
unleashing hell, right? So you can go ahead and just a shoot. Because you get to shoot them all. Like, you can use all your weapons while you're sniping if you want. Also, I believe while you're sniping, if I remember correctly, if I look at the little rule handbook that I gave you, snipe, I think you get a plus. Yeah, you get a +1 to your attack. So when you use the macro that I gave you, whatever the number is at the end, we'll just add 1 to that. Because you're sniping.
Okay. Yep. All right. So that means I should click the beam laser macro.
Yes.
Right. And it'll do a shot.
All right. So
I've done my shot.
that is a natural 1 on the roll for a total of 8. So you miss with you line it up, and you just fire straight off the starboard bow, and there no damage is taken. But you can fire your second laser if you would like.
Okay, I've done that. Not done much better.
Oh,
Oh, you got a 9. You're firing at the eagle. You notice that he, even though you're stopping you got a 9, but plus your 1 for your sniping, so that's a 10. You still, he was just attacked by Genya, and he looks like he's taking a vase of manures, and you're having a hard time lining your shot up. If you would like, you can still fire your cannons, even though they won't do as much damage as they would if the shields were down, but they will still do damage if you hit. You can shoot both of those as well if you would like.
Is there a limit on the amount that overall? So you said that Genya had a limit on the number of missiles that she had.
Yes.
yeah,
So kinetic weaponry
that the
definitely
same?
has.
Yeah.
Anything that's kinetic will have an amount of ammo. There is, I believe, though, with your cannons. Who are you again? You're blue, right? So if you shift double click on your ship.
Green.
You're green.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
Yeah, I'll take a look at your
Green.
character sheet. If I look at your character sheet, you have your cannons have 50 shots each, so you have quite a bit of ammo for those. I believe the missiles are more limited, if I remember correctly. I think you've got less than that, 6 or so shots, I believe.
And who keeps track of this? Do I have to keep in my mind that I've got? I guess I should.
Just
anyway.
write maybe just.
So if I fire a cannon,
just write down how many shots you've used, yeah, and then we'll add it to your character sheet later, so that we don't have to remember this for next time.
All right. And then, sorry, I'm just getting. I did not come prepared. All right, so I'll fire 1 cannon.
All right, roll for cannon. That is a 13 to hit, plus 1 because you're sniping. That is a total of 14. Your kinetic shot whoosh goes straight into the eagle's shields. Roll me your damage.
It's not versus hull, right? It's versus shield.
It's versus shields, yeah. All right, so you do 10
Inflicts
points
10
of
damage.
damage against his shields. You notice the shimmering pulsing of his shields, glittering as it absorbs the kinetic shot, and you feel that the shields are still up. You can fire your second cannon if you would like.
Yeah, that one went well. So doing it again.
All right, go for it.
Yep, I just did. 14 plus 1, so
14
15.
plus 1 is a 15. That also hits. Roll for your damage.
And submit, so 10 damage.
Another 10 points of damage. All right. You have now laid into him with 2 kinetic shots and a laser, I believe, right? Did you hit with one of your... Oh, no, you missed with your lasers, but you hit him with
No,
two shells. Boom, boom. And the glistening shields appear to still be up, but you guys, between the two of you, have definitely done a significant amount of damage to him. And that is the end of your turn. Until the beginning of your next turn, though, you do have a defense of 0, but it's likely not going to come into play with all these people flying about. So good tactics there.
Protect me.
There you go. And speaking of
That's gonna
Ed,
be your go, right, Ed? You just sit
You're
next
up.
to me, protecting
I'm
me.
just gonna sit here and hover around you.
So Ed, you are up. What would you like to do?
I would like to joust the same ship.
All right. So take your ship and put it up beside that green eagle.
Okay. Okay, is that close enough?
Yep, that totally. And then unleash hell. You can fire all your weapons.
Okay. How do I fire all weapons?
Well, you have to do with the macro I've made. You have to do them one at a time. Maybe for next week, and I might figure out how you can do a whole bunch. But
so just
I believe you have 2 of each. So that is a critical hit with the first one, 16. But sadly, his shields are still up, so it just does the damage. So go ahead and hit the roll for the first cannon, for the first beam laser.
Okay. Burst being 1, yeah.
Oh, burst. No, wait. You got a 16. I believe that is max. So basically, how burst works is I know what you need to hit for the bad guy, right? What burst is for every point that you roll above their to hit number, you get an extra burst for that, up to a maximum for your weapon. With a 16 critical hit, you're going to get maximum burst. So I'm going to look at your spaceship real quick and just double check what your burst is. I think you can do up to 2 bursts with your weapons, but let me just check. If I go to Ed and I bring up your ship, you have... Oh, no, you've got the beam lasers. So you can do up to a maximum of 4 bursts with that bad boy, and you get all 4. So give me 4 bursts.
Okay. And then versus shields. Yeah, shields are still up, aren't they?
Shields are up, yes.
Yeah.
That is 40 points of damage against this guy's
shields.
shields.
Go back to Kingdom Come, bastard.
So you fire with that first beam laser, and you notice that as you unleash, so the beam laser is like a continuous beam of energy. There's no pulse to it, right? It's just like you just lay into him, and you're such a good pilot that you maintain the lock on him throughout the entire discharge of this laser. You notice that the laser is hitting that shield, and it's shimmering, and all of a sudden the shields just drop, and the laser goes straight through, and you also do some damage directly to the hull. You see it ripping off a piece of the plating as the laser goes in. Go ahead and roll. So you did your second beam laser attack was a 13.
Yeah.
That also hits.
13.
Roll me the damage. You get 1 burst.
So 1 burst for this one. Okay. And shields no now? Are the shields dead?
Shields no now. Yes, they are down.
There you go. But
so now you get 20 points of damage on the second shot, which is still, extremely respectable. You hit him with 2 beam lasers. The second shot lays into the hull, and you notice that this one is like it's like running up the side of the hull, and you're doing some serious damage. Like there's a gutter kind of like rolling up the side of his hull.
The plan the whole time.
He looks like he's starting to get a bit rough here. You still have 2 kinetic weapons that you can use.
Oh yeah, I certainly do. And I will. There's the first. Oh. That wasn't quite as
that is
exciting
an
as the others.
8. So he is onto you. He is starting to take evasive maneuvers, and you fire off your cannon at him, and he avoids the slug as you guys do the dance in space.
And then I got one
Roll
more.
for the second one. You got one more. Go for it.
This is the box.
Oh,
that wasn't
is
quite the result I was looking for.
No, that one is a fumble, but luckily you don't have to worry about those types of things when you are firing kinetic weaponry from your spaceship. So you miss. So you fire two rounds of of kinetic slugs out of your spaceship, and the guy is just like evading with his life, trying to make sure that you don't just kill him outright. But that is the end of your turn.
Okay.
Now
Got
up
too
next,
greedy. Got that bloodlust up.
Yeah.
bloodlust. And now you were in the fray with him, but he is looking a mighty hurt. Next up, we have Spike, but I believe this is actually still the first round, so we will skip past him. And then Commander Ackerman is up next. He is. You guys notice that it looks like his ship is like its lights are flickering. He's having trouble maintaining power. His shields appear to be down. He's not talking. Maybe his communications are having trouble right now, but he doesn't appear to do anything. Next, then we wrap around to the top of the round. So now we are in round 2. Our friend Henry is here, and he will be able to act on his turn. But up first comes this yellow Sidewinder, who sees what's going down and watching everybody go after his friend in the Eagle, and he is going to attempt to fly around over to fly around over to our friend with the beam laser, and
I feel I've made some issues with my judgment.
try and attack him, but he is up close. So this is the first time you guys are now basically attacking in the up close position. When you are up close, you have a few. Sorry, maybe that was bad phrasing. But yeah, so you can do a few different things when you're up close. You can do broadsides. None of you guys need to worry about broadsides because nobody has turrets. They only work if you have turreted weapons, which are like they can spin around and shoot in any direction. You guys all have like front-mounted weaponry that you have to literally fly and then fire. So you don't have to worry about broadsides. Disengage is if this guy wanted to get out to at distance, he could try and do what Jenya is doing right now and go to the line there. And as long as nobody pulls him back in before the end of the round, he would be out in the at distant range. He is not going to do that though. What he wants to do is dogfight you. So he is going to basically fly up at you. He's going to fly up at you, and he is going to try and basically outmaneuver you, get behind you, and then fire his weapons at you. So to do this, he is going to have to roll to hit you, and you are going to roll to see if you can evade him. So what I want you to do is roll 1d10, and then we're going to add your defense. Now, on your spaceship, if you click on your spaceship, I put your defense in the red circle. So that's the number. So roll a d10 and add your defense.
How do I just roll a normal d10?
Okay, so this is everybody. So everybody follow along with me here. So we only have to do this once. If you go to the top right-hand corner where you see the 3 lines, click on that. It's collections, and then you'll see a whole bunch of macros. You're looking for one that says roll d10. Click the little in-bar button beside that. Yep, click that. Now you'll notice that there is a roll d10 button in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Click that.
Bonus. Yeah.
Yeah. So now your bonus here we're going to do is your defense. So put your defense, which I believe 10. Is a 10. Yeah. And then roll. Okay. So you you rolled a 1 plus your 10. So you got a total of 11. And I am going to roll for for the guy attacking you.
There's not a lot of ways this could go not wrong.
Yep. I defeat you in this check. So this guy actually swoops in behind you and lines up his weapons and fires all of his weapons at you.
That's now going on a limb. I think that's not good. I would imagine.
I believe he has. Let's see here real quick. If I want to open that up. Okay, yeah. So he's got. Okay, so I will roll for his first weapon. Whoops. He rolled a 9 to hit you. Now your defense is in that red circle, so you have a defense of 10, right?
Yep.
So he missed you with his first laser beam, and then he tries to shoot at you again with his second pulse laser, and he rolls a 7. So he gets in behind you, and he tries to fire at you twice, and you, even though you couldn't outmaneuver him, you managed to be
Amateur.
erratic enough that he can't hit you with his lasers.
Oh yeah, of course I did. There was no question about that.
So that was his turn. Next up, we've got the eagle. The eagle is feeling like you've all been ganging up on him. So he's going to open up communications, and he's going to yell across the comms to all of you guys. And he's going to say, "Listen up, coppers! You've got 2 seconds to tell us where you've stashed the Aurora, or we'll boil you up one by one." And then he's going to fly into
open with him? Oh, okay. we didn't get the opportunity to talk back.
The best
Yeah, you can talk back.
thing to do after delivering a threat is to run away.
Yeah. Well, he's disengaging, so he looks like he's trying to get out at distance. So maybe he can do something different next turn. But you also know that you have pummeled him quite deeply. So he might be a little worried about his hull strength right now. But yes, so he delivers a blood curdling intimidation check, which may or may not have done anything. And then he tries to disengage. But yeah, you can respond if you want.
Fuck off.
All right. So that was his turn. Next up, we have Jenya. Nobody actually attempted to attack you while you were disengaging. So you now start your turn at distance again.
Okay.
All right. So now you can do any of the at distance options. So you can chicken. You can chicken. You can flee. You can joust. You can pass. You can snipe, and you can strafe.
All right. So, I'm gonna joust this one up here.
All right. So you're gonna joust. So you will end your turn up close at the end of this. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means that you don't have to roll any checks. You're jousting, so you just get to fire all your weapons at this guy. Would you like to shoot your lasers first?
Yep.
All right.
Ooh.
So you got 2 of those. So do them one at a time. Oh, wow, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And it's got shields. Right?
Actually, he doesn't have any shields.
Oh, okay.
Oh, bollocks.
Okay. 10 damage.
So you do 10 damage against his hull. You notice you were expecting him to have shields up, but all of a sudden you notice that your laser goes straight into his hull. Maybe Ackerman actually did do a little bit of hurting before you guys showed up.
All right. So and another.
Yep, you can go ahead and attack
all my
your second.
weapons.
So yep, you got a 12
So
on that
12?
one. That is a hit. So go ahead and roll your damage. That's another 10 points of damage.
Yep.
All right. And now you've got your kinetic weapons.
Missile.
Oh,
14.
Here comes the missiles. You got a 14. That hits. Yeah, roll your damage. His shields are down. 25 points of damage. Yeah, you fire off your seeker missile, and you see it fly off towards him, and it just like hammers right in the back side of him. And it looks like you've jostled one of his thrusters, and it's like flickering on and off. He looks like he's taking some serious damage. Would you like to fire your second missile?
Okay. Should we be trying to arrest these people, or kill them.
That is totally up to you. What would you like to do?
I don't know how you arrest in a spaceship.
It's a
So
very
Just
one
pick
thing
up
to know
their-
about
their
one
escape
thing I will
pod
say
outfit.
in the lore
I
of
rolled
the universe.
without. I got a
Oh, did
10
you
with
just-
my second missile.
Oh, you got a
I-
10 with your
yeah.
second missile? That is actually a
Yeah.
miss. So, yeah, it flies
Oh.
past and blows off in the distance. So you don't get your second hit with the missile. But I will say that yeah,
But
in the Elite Dangerous universe, as police officers, this is actually a very, very dangerous place. Hence the name Elite Dangerous. But yeah, like police. I think the analogy that I was giving some of the other people was that you're kind of like a bunch of Judge Dredds, right? Like you have the right to if like, especially because these guys are attacking a citizen, you have the full right to what's that, like, license to kill, like all that kind of stuff, right? But if you would like to try and interrogate or bring people in, you totally are allowed to do that too. But you don't have to worry about if they're breaking the law. You have full right to basically take them out.
Okay. So we're not trying to arrest them.
All right. So yeah, you fire a second missile. It sadly misses, but this guy looks like he's in a ton of pain. Henry,
Yeah.
you are here.
Ooh.
What would you like to do?
I think I'm going to joust the Sidewinder on Ed's tail.
All
Oh.
right.
beautiful, man.
All right. So yeah, pull yourself in up close, and then keep yourself off the line though, just so I know you're not. So I know you're not disengaging. Yep. There you go. And then go ahead and fire your weapons. You can fire all of them, and you can fire them in any order you would like. You do know that his shields are down.
I think
Oh,
I'll
wait.
open up with the multi-cannon.
Oh yeah, I'm clicking on the wrong.
Or no,
guy.
this guy I don't know.
Oh, this guy you don't know. Yeah,
Just
the other guy. The other guy. Yeah, sorry. You don't know about this guy.
Okay. I'll open up
yeah.
with the pulse lasers then. Feel it
Right.
out.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, that looks bad. That's a miss. That's a 7 on the roll. That's a miss.
All right.
Go ahead and roll for your
Try
second
that
one.
again.
Ah, that
Ooh,
is
that's
a
better.
hit. Yeah. Roll your damage. That's a 13 on the die. Or sorry, on the total.
Is that against shields?
Shields are up on this guy. Yes.
Cool.
Ooh, 15 damage. All right. So he takes 15 damage, and you see, yeah, the shield's shimmering as it takes the blunt of your, I think it's a pulse laser. Yeah. Go ahead and roll your kinetic if you would like to fire those off.
Might as well. Get his
14
attention.
hits.
Any burst?
Yes, you will get 3 burst with that.
Hold on, I accidentally tabbed out of my window.
Oh, you're firing a pulse laser? I think they
No,
have a maximum
that
of
was the
2 burst
multi-cannon.
on those. Oh, that was the multi-cannon? I don't know what their max
Yep.
burst is. We'll just say you can have a max of 3. Go for it.
Okay. Just stalling as I reload into the roll 20.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing
Back
that, I can maybe take a quick look at your weapon then as well.
I got it.
So you
I
have
got
a
it. We're good.
multi-cannon, right?
Multi-cannon. Gimbal multi-cannon. Yep.
Spacecraft, weapons.
Are we allowed to talk to each other while we're doing this?
Yep, you totally can.
Like, yeah.
Was your a medium multi-cannon or a
Some.
small multi-cannon?
Medium.
Medium? Okay. Medium.
We should definitely
Uh,
get that guy that's fleeing.
Max burst
We
is 2.
shouldn't let him
That-
flee.
That's my plan. Once I learn if I can hit him from there.
So yeah, you get 2 burst with that then.
2 burst, hull or shields.
Shields are up, so yes, shields. 30 damage. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow!
All right, that's a good hit. That's all that burst damage. All right, so you have one more multi-cannon, don't you?
Might as
12
well.
hits, you get 1 burst. How much damage does that boy do? Another 20 points of damage. So yeah, you notice that his shields like go down, and part of that cannon hit some of those multiple bullets that you fire from your multi-cannon pierce through that and hit into his hull a little bit. So yeah, you have taken his shields down, and then you've fired all your weapons, and it is Gabriel's turn, unless you wanted to say anything to anyone first.
No, okay. So what am I allowed to still shoot at that eagle
So
from here?
you can try and pull him back in, I believe. So if I go to my little space combat section,
So if
you
I
want to
pull him
basically
back in, you
joust
mean,
him. So you must be at distance. Choose any ship at
Can I
distance or up
snipe from here?
close. Sorry?
Can I snipe from here, even though he's
Yeah.
disengaging?
You targets. Oh, actually, for a snipe, for a strafe, you can't. Where's snipe? Snipe. Choose any ship up close or at distance. Yeah, there is no. Yep, you can totally snipe somebody who is fleeing. Yeah, so
Okay.
you can just take a pot shot
I'm just
at him
gonna
as he's
sit back
running
and
away.
keep doing this then.
It's
Yeah.
not going to stop him from getting
Alright,
to at
so
distance,
that-
but it will. You can hit him.
He's got no shields.
Yeah. So if he's got no shields, will a cannon do more damage?
Yes, with the shields down, the kinetic weapons will get a bonus against the hull.
All right. I'll snipe him with a cannon.
All right,
And
so that
I've
is a
rolled
14 plus 1 though because of your
Plus-
bonus. So you get a 15, and that totally hits him. Roll for damage.
Roll versus hull, yes, and
15 points of damage. You fire your cannon. You line up the shot. You see him burning away from you guys, trying to get a little bit further out. So who knows what he can do next? You line your shot up. You fire this single massive slug out of the front of your spaceship. It goes streaking across space, and it goes straight into the back of this guy's hull. And you see it like slowly the view of the spaceship exploding from the inside, and it just tears itself apart as you see a massive explosion, and this ship is now just a bunch of bits and pieces floating in space.
Nice.
Nice.
does
Good
that
shot.
does that mean the guy in that is dead? Or we don't know that unless we
It's
investigate?
just floating around in
you
space.
do know that all spaceships are equipped with escape pods, and given the situation like this, they will attempt to eject you before you explode. If they hadn't tried to do it, but it is difficult for it to succeed during an explosion. Generally, people, if they want to try and escape, they try and do so before they take that final blow. So you can, after the battle, you can do a scan around and see if you find an escape pod.
All right, but now's not the time.
Yeah.
So now that I've destroyed him, is that turn over, or can I
Yeah.
still aim at other ships? Okay.
Well, so because you were specifically lining yourself up for that one shot. You've turned your engines off to make that. You are locked in on him. You are unable to select a new target until your next turn.
All right, so that's turn done.
That's turns done. But yeah, one enemy is down.
Okay,
Nice.
and I'm sitting defenseless currently.
Yes.
You are currently defenseless, but the guy that was coming out that could have done damage to you is no more. You took him out before he had a chance.
Yeah.
All right, Ed.
All right.
What is our
Okay,
pilot whiz
I
going
want
to
to
do?
open up all channels to speak to the remaining two ships.
Okay. What do you say?
And I say, your current attempts have been futile to destroy us, you filthy pirates. This is your one and only attempt, or your one and only chance to surrender, and we may not execute our right to murder you. There you go.
That's beautiful. Why don't you roll me an intimidation check?
Okay.
So
is
open up
that in
your character
yeah?
sheet, and then you
Yep.
should see a skill called intimidation under your social category.
Social. Okay. Intimidate. There you go.
Oh.
A 3.
So you open up the communications and you say this, and in your mind you're like super intimidating,
Like epic.
but you hear over
Oh,
the
yeah.
comms your friends kind of chuckling under their breath as they listen to what you think is a very intimidating speech, but they realize sounds horrible. And you do get an open comms back from one of the ships, and you do hear back from him and says, You let us go. We won't kill you.
Which one?
The one that you are currently engaged with, the yellow one.
He's fucking dead. That's fucking
Just let us go, man. We won't kill you.
I'm not even going to respond. I'm just going to blow into Kingdom Come. Right.
All right. So you are up close.
Close
You are the
up.
blue ship, right? And he is up
Yeah.
close. So you need to win
Fuck
a
it.
dog
I'm
fighting
ramming
check.
him. Fuck him. Oh, wait, do I?
Oh no!
It's a way to send a message.
Oh wow!
Like,
Yes.
if he wants to talk back and my message didn't go through, I'm just going to I'm going to ram the bastard.
That's
He's gonna
another way
take
to
it.
intimidate. Totally. So yes. So you want to ram him.
Yes.
All right. So you need to roll me D10 plus your defense. So hit the roll D10 button and add your defense, which I
Yep.
believe was 10.
Yep.
All right. And then I get to do the same thing for him to see if he can avoid you.
Okay.
So I will do that. All right. So you rolled a 19. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Your enemy.
I'm pissed off.
Your enemy managed to roll an 18.
Oh,
So you win.
that's close.
Yeah. So you win.
I wasn't
the
intimidated
attack.
though. I just thought I'd say it.
So yeah. So you're both small ships. So you basically ram into him, and you cause 10 points of damage against him, but you still take half of that. So you take 5 points of damage to your
Okay.
shields, and he takes 10 points of damage.
Yep.
So the easiest way for you to do that actually is if you click on your ship, your blue ship, and then your shields is the
Yep.
blue one. If you click into that, and then you just type -5, enter, it will do the math for you.
I can no longer see my little squares when I click on my guy. On my circles, sorry. I'm clicking on him,
can't?
nothing's coming up anymore.
Oh, did that just happen?
Yeah, like just now.
The blue one.
Yeah, I can move him. I think a little bit. So I moved and they came back. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So I want to do the blue
So
one.
click
did
on
you
the
say?
blue
Or
one. It says 60, right? You click on that
Yep.
and then type -5,
Yep.
enter.
Minus 5. Okay. Cool.
There you go. And then
Yeah,
so that
55.
removed 5 from you. That's actually I think that's the first damage that any of you have taken in this battle.
Yeah.
It was
right.
entirely his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, self-inflicted.
Well, so this exactly. This was a pretty decent tactic actually, because so what I will do is I'll move him around in front of you because you ran around and you smashed into him, and his shields were down. So you actually just did 10 points of hull damage to him, and you only took 5 points of shield damage, which will regenerate. One thing I haven't mentioned to you guys yet because nobody's taken any damage, but at the beginning of your turn, you get to regenerate 5 shields. So basically,
Nice.
if
Okay.
you don't take any more damage until your next turn, then you will be back to full at the beginning of your next turn. So yeah, good, well done. But that is the end of your turn. You've definitely sent him a message. Next up is the purplish guy. You notice him fly to disengage, and he runs to the line. And then Ackerman, you see, he's still just floating in space. He looks like you see lights flickering. They're trying to come back on, but he's definitely in trouble. And then this guy flies to the line, and he tries to escape. And then that guy's dead. And then Jenya, what do? You see them. You heard them say over the line, let us go and we won't kill you. You get the feeling like the crackling in his voice, and after just being rammed by Ed's ship, that they probably just trying to get the hell out.
Yeah, but I don't think we should get them. I don't think we should let them leave because they know about the Aurora. So we got to kill them.
Well, they're looking for it, aren't they? But they don't know
Yep.
where it is.
Yeah, they're looking for it, so they know
So we don't
something.
want to let them keep looking.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to kill them.
All right. You are totally within your rights to do so as a police officer in this universe. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't read about the up close things. I should have been doing that this whole time.
So you are
can
up
guess.
close right now. So if you would like to, so the two of them are disengaging right now. So if you would like to basically go after one of them and pull them back into up close, then you need to do a pursuit check against them to pull them back in. And if you win the pursuit, then you can unload your weapons on them. The other option that you would have is you can also try and disengage to be with them out at distance next turn. And then you could like joust them or whatever from at distance. But if you'd like to try and pull them back into the combat, you can do that too.
Okay, so is that in my character sheet? Did you say a pursuit check?
Yeah. So to do a pursuit check, you are going to basically roll a d10 and add your pursuit, and then I will do the same thing for the bad guy, and whoever gets the better roll. So if you exceed his roll, then you pull him back in, and if you fail, then you basically he can continue to fly off. So which one are you going after?
So I roll d10. So I roll a d10 and then add my pursuit.
Which is going to be the same. I think in these ships, I think it's one. It's just whatever your defense is plus 1.
So 11.
All right. So yeah. So roll a d10 and add 11 as your bonus. And which one are you actually going after?
Oh, sorry. This one up here. The
guy up here.
One.
All right. So you fly at him, trying to pull him back in. You roll a 14 on your pursuit roll, but he got a 16 on his evasion roll.
Oh, no,
so
no.
you manage to you miss him and you fly right past him, and he continues to try and make his escape.
Excuse me, sorry.
Henry, what do you do?
Ooh. It's tough. I was reading through a bunch of stuff when I should have been actually thinking what I was going to do, and then reading up on that one thing. I am.
So you are up close as well, right? Yes, you are. Okay.
Yep.
So you have similar options, right? Like if you want to pull them back in and dogfight, like pull them back in to attack them, you can do that, or you can disengage to get out there with them to see if you can't attack them when they're at distance, stop them from fleeing, right?
Yeah, so I'll try to pursue the one I just lit up, the yellow Sidewinder.
All right. So yeah, roll me. So whatever your defense is, which is in I believe the your red bar plus 1, like your red circle area.
Yep.
And then I will roll for his evasion. So you rolled a 13, and my guy rolled a crit on his his evasion. So he manages to avoid you as you try to chase him down. So you are still up close, and he is still on the line. Gabriel, you're watching your friends. Oh, sorry, Spidey. Were you done? Did you want to say anything?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. So yeah, Gabriel, you were up. What would you like to do? You've been watched both of your colleagues try to pull these guys back in, but they seem to be quite agile, trying to escape the frenzy.
Okay, so this pink Sidewinder up the top, which I don't seem to be able to click on. Something's
yeah, no,
happened.
because I control them.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to see all of their information.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I was trying to do the... Oh, you got to hold. You got to hold.
Yeah, click and hold. Yeah, click and hold. Sorry.
Yeah. So that one, it doesn't have shields, does it? It's running away.
No
doesn't
shields.
have shields.
Yeah, that one.
So this strategy, strategic cowardice, is working so far.
Yep. So you're going to take another pot shot, are you?
Yep. I'm just going to do another cannon.
All right, go for it.
That guy that is that one. There we go. The 12.
That
plus
hits.
1, 13.
Plus 1, right? 13.
Okay,
that hits.
so I do versus Hull.
Versus Hull.
15.
Nice. Yeah. So every once in a while, I will ask you a question. The question is, how do you want to do this? And what that means when I say that is you describe to me how you make this person see their end of days. You've killed him. How would you like this to happen? Describe the death for me.
Oh, right. So it hit that person, and now I've got to describe what has happened.
Yeah, you launched a slug, a single massive kinetic slug, and it hit the ship. What happens?
Yep.
He's dead. But how does it happen? Be inventive. If you don't want to, I can do it for you. But I'm giving you an opportunity to describe his death.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm trying to work out. Like, I don't know what's on a ship. Can it? So, does it have to have completely destroyed the ship, or can it just have like taken out? Like, hang on, what did Vic say? Can it have taken out their thrusters, and the rest of the ship is intact, so we know that the person's still in there? Can I make that choice?
It could have, but you would have had to have made what's called a called shot, like a targeted shot, to attack at one of his components, which actually is a thing you can do, and I totally never told you that you could do that. But yeah, so you would have to make a called shot. There's a bunch, like there are some penalties to the hit to make that shot, though. So in this case, no, it is going to explode, sadly.
Right. So it's just exploded. There's stuff everywhere, and I.
All right, you raw cowardice sniping works again.
Yeah. No, it's strategic.
Sorry, yes, strategic cowardice, right? Was that what it was? All right, yeah. So you fire at this guy, and he
play because I've got to help everyone else.
Yep.
For when
you've gotten both the kill shots.
Because like Ed, he like hit his head on the dash.
Yeah.
After that ram, so I've got to be here to patch it up afterwards.
All right. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
That's a very bad attempt at what you were just talking about.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah. You can like just to give you an example, like you could. Like he obviously is going to explode, but you can describe it in all the terms that you would like. So an example might be like, you know, the pellet goes straight through the canopy and like straight through his face, and then you can be as gory as you want, or all that kind of stuff. Like think Sniper Elite.
I'm from a distance, so all I saw was just an explosion and then little stuff glimmering in the light, the distant light. That's all I saw. Was like little bits just flying everywhere.
All right, Ed, you're up. There is one person left.
Okay.
And you see them hitting the thrusters. They're trying to like
get him.
Get out of here.
Get him.
I'm fucking right. Let me just assess my options here. Okay, Ram is my immediate option, but I'm gonna reserve it. That's the way I want to go.
I'm not sure you can ram while he's disengaging, though. Sadly.
Okay. Can I engage in a dogfight?
Yes, you can try in pursuit, and if you win the pursuit, you pull him back in, and then you unleash hell.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. This is the bastard that insulted me. So.
All right. So
I've
roll. So whatever the number is in that red circle, that's your defense. Add 1 to that. That's your pursuit. So roll a d10 and add that number.
10 plus what was it? Sorry.
10 plus. I think. What's your defense?
My defense is 10.
It's 10. So it's so you roll d10 and then you add 11.
11. Okay.
Oh, you rolled a 2.
Oh no!
So
really
sadly,
not gone very well.
Sadly, this guy, he is like just able to weave around, and everybody that's tried to pull him back in of just totally missed him. So sadly, you miss attacking him. And up next, we've got a dead guy, so it's not his turn. Then it's Ackerman's turn. He still looks like he's in the throes. Then we've got this guy here in the yellow. He manages to get out to at distance. And now he's going to attempt to flee. He's running. So now he is trying to leave the battlefield. You hear in all of your communications, you hear, your ship all of a sudden lights up, and you hear the words, frame shift drive activated, which you know means that he's activated his frame shift drive, and he's about to try and jump out into Super Cruise and get away from the battle. You have 1 round left to pull him back in.
He's trying, but he hasn't yet.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So now it is Jenya's turn.
Okay.
Basically, at this point, you have to try if you
do
pull him in if you want to. Oh, where are you? Okay, so here's an interesting little tidbit. You managed to kill all the bad guys except for this one guy, right? You are currently up close. But if at the beginning of your turn there are no enemies in the up close, you start your turn at distance.
Oh, great.
Because there's no longer anything up close, right? So you're now just at distance.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
What
are
about this
more than
guy?
welcome. No, he's not an enemy. You're
He's not
there
an
to
enemy.
save him.
Oh, is he not?
It's a good thing.
You want to kill him?
I was just going to shoot him.
That's the guy you're trying to save.
That's the guy we're trying to save. Oh,
We
also,
don't know that he's
Apple-
friendly.
Apple,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
your shield back too.
Be a bad guy.
Say
Yeah,
again,
that's
sorry?
true.
You get
That's
shield
true.
back.
All right. Well, so yes,
All
you
right,
are
we'll
at
just open up
distance.
on him. We'll just remove
You can,
everyone
no,
from the
we
scene.
want to talk to him.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
Let's
no.
blow him out of
He
space.
can't get away. He can't get away. So
Yeah,
we
his
can go
ship
in,
is wrecked.
question him, then shoot him in the face.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, true. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, he's already
Okay,
disabled. So
Can I joust him?
so you
This
need to.
yellow
It's,
one
a,
down
it's a
here.
similar thing. You've got to pursue him first. So if you do,
Okay.
if you do win the pursuit,
not
then
well.
you will pull yourself and him up close together.
Okay. Oh, so then it would be like a dog fight.
Well, I think you.
no, okay.
I think yeah.
Okay.
So go for it
I'll roll a d.
and add your
Or
defense
just
plus
11.
1, so 11, I guess, right?
19.
Oh, that was
Finally.
pretty good, but sadly, I got a 20. so yeah, you're going for him, but he's still outmaneuvering you. Sadly, next up we've got Henry. Henry, you also start your turn at distance because there was no enemies in the up close. What would you like to do?
Guess I'm pursuing too. Gotta get him.
Oh, okay, go for it. Oh
Oof.
wow, that's
19.
beautiful. So you rolled a crit, and
Yep.
I rolled a natty 1.
Oh,
So yeah, so
Come
he
on.
gets ripped back in along with you. Yeah, there we go. And I'll stick him in. Oh, that works too. Yeah, boom! You rip him back in, and now if I remember correctly, pursuit. I think you automatically win a dogfight when you win a pursuit like that. So you just unleash all your weapons in
Uh-oh.
whatever order you would like.
Let's- Start with the multi-cannons, why not? Oof. Not great.
Let me just go. I got the wrong tab open. That was an 8. So
That was
that
an
is a miss.
Let's try that again. Ooh, 14 sounds
Ooh,
better.
that's nice.
Oh, that hits, and you get 2 bursts with that if it's a burst weapon. I don't think it is, right? It's cannon, or is it a multi-cannon?
It's a multi-cannon.
Oh, so you do get burst. Yeah, you get your 2 bursts. So you get 30 points of damage on him, and that is exactly how much hull he has left. How would you like to do this?
So I picture it like he's trying to get away. So I kick it into overdrive and throttle up. He realizes that he's not going to be able to get away and throttles down and kind of tries to pull the Top Gun maneuver. But
Yep.
we're in outer space, so like there isn't like a lot of air resistance. So
Yeah, he
he starts
forgot he's on
slowing
an app
down. I kind of blow by him a little bit, but like roll forward
Oh,
and
yeah,
then just
flight
like
assist off?
light him up down the middle, like straight down the middle of the Sidewinder, blast through his cockpit, like basically
that's
cut the ship in
beautiful.
half.
That's amazing.
That's beautiful. Yeah, so you line up, you pull him in, you get right up on his ass, yeah, and you drop over top of him, keeping the front of your ship in line with him the entire time. And as you roll over, your multi-cannon blast rakes the ship from the back all the way along the top of the hull to the front, and you see as that happens that the actual ship starts to break down the line that you've cut, and it cuts apart into 2 pieces, and the 2 sides, like the power plant in the middle explodes, and the 2 sides rip off from each other in a giant shockwave as there is nothing left of his ship.
Nice.
And that is the end of the battle. So you have destroyed all of the baddies. There is a floating, looking very hurt adder tumbling in space. It looks like it's trying to get its power back online, having difficulty doing so. It is 13 minutes past the 3rd hour, so we can wrap up here at the end of the battle, and we can begin the next session with you opening up communications with Commander Ackerman and deciding how you want to proceed.
And then killing him.
Do you want to, just because Vix has just asked, do you want to just briefly wrap up what just happened then?
All right.
Because he just missed it.
Well, it was Henry's kill. Would you like to wrap that up, or do you want me to do the recap?
I'll let you do the honors.
All right. So so in the final throes of battle, and hopefully I'm answering the right question here, but in the final throes of battle, Henry Kincaid managed to slide up behind the final Sidewinder, pull him back into the battle, and basically cut his ship in half with his multi-cannon blast as he did a beautiful arc in 3D space over the top of his ship, ripping it in 2 pieces and destroying the power plant, watching it incinerate in a giant fireball of death. And we are now...
Henry seems happy with
and we are now at the point where all of the enemies have been destroyed. The poor Commander Ackerman that reached out for help and found it in the 4 police officers that came to his rescue is floating, tumbling in space with his power plant flickering, hoping for hopefully some help. And that's where we will end tonight's session.
Okay.
All right. So yes, closing words.
Is there anything we've got to do at the end? Like, from a game perspective, we've got to write down the ammunition we've used. We'll do that after we've ended the stream.
Yeah, we can do that stuff after the stream. But yeah, we'll just make sure that we keep track of whatever things that we need to keep track of. You guys can talk between sessions if you want as well about what you how you would like to proceed. Feel free to loop me in on that so that I can prepare things. One thing that I will say is that the GM's responsibility, I am not your opponent, right? I am working with you to tell the story. So if you loop me in on what your plans are, I can do prep and kind of get things ready to go. But obviously this is a pre-written adventure, so a lot of it will already be ready to go. But yeah.
Yep. Okay. And Apple's shield, is that regenerated now?
Yes, as soon as the battle's over, because they regenerate 5 points every round, but when you're out of combat, you're back up to full.
Okay.
Good question.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's all the congruity stuff.
There you go. Yes.
Stream, and the next stream is going to be same time next week.
That's right.
So, what is it for you? It's 5 p.m. Mountain Time, Anubis.
Yeah, believe it or not, I added the stuff to the end stream card, so I won't pull it up right now because then we'll all stop talking. But on the end stream card, I say that the stream starts, so it'll be next Saturday at 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time in Toronto, or I guess in Spidey time, that'll be 7 o'clock. Thank you. 7 o'clock Saturday, and then in England. BST, that is midnight. It starts at midnight for our good friend from the Isle of Britain, and then in AEST, it will be 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Obviously, midnight on Sunday as well. But yeah.
So
there you go.
Apple. And if you want to keep up on that sort of thing, we've got a Discord channel where we put sort of information, announcements, that kind of thing. There we go. Nightbot's got that covered. It's in the chat now.
Beautiful.
And it'll be in the video description.
Excellent.
On YouTube. Okay.
Well, I hope
that's enough
you all enjoyed, and that's the story for tonight.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.